Johnson gets the snap rolling out to the far side. Now he tucks it. Had some room to run, but he slipped and fell. And only gains a yard. Had he kept his footing, I think he's probably got 4 or 5 yards there. Instead, it will bring up a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to deliver to Bryson Nesbitt down the field and just didn't decide to pull the trigger.
Carolina going quickly. And now we'll ease up and look to the sideline. 4 receivers in the formation. Heels snapping off their own 6-yard line on 3rd and 7. A lot of communication still going on that offensive line. Play clock under 10. Johnson ready to get the snap. Finally does. Has a clean pocket. Throws and almost intercepted. J.J. Jones had slipped and fallen. Zaquan Bryan, a redshirt freshman, had the ball in his hands and just could not hold on to it on the far sideline. That was almost disaster for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, that had potential to be disastrous. All they were treating that was like a red zone back shoulder fade, trying to pick up the first down, and it wasn't a bad throw by Max. It was just J.J. fell to the ground, slipped, didn't keep his feet underneath him.
Well, remember, it rained a lot. That's why this game is an hour behind, and that's twice now that we've seen Carolina slip and fall. Remember the last game of the regular season last year? Carolina was slipping all over Gardner Finley. Punting from deep in his own end zone, McGinnis just able to get it away. Hits at the 40 and then takes a terrific Carolina bounce. This is going to roll all the way inside the Gopher 40. Ends up at the Minnesota 39-yard line. That is a 55-yard punt that went about 35 yards in the air and then scooted on that wet turf down to the 39, where Minnesota will take over for its 3rd possession of the game. Still no score. Each team's had the ball twice. We've had 3 3-and-outs between the 2 teams so far.
Yeah, that is a big one. We were punting right out of the Carolina's punting right out of the back of the end zone and be able to nail a 55-yard punt with a lot of roll right there. Flip the field back in favor of the Tar Heels. So that was a huge play. Big punt by Minnesota to pin us down in there and then return the favor of the big punt back at them.
For McGinnis, that's just 2 yards off his career high. Had a 57-yarder a year ago. Under center for the first time will be Brosmer. Has Major behind him. As the lone back. And he will hand to him. Major tries to pop it to the outside, and he is met there by Power Eccles. Eccles standing the Oklahoma transfer up for no gain on the play.
Yeah, that starts with a great slant on the inside by Carolina, and then Power Eccles does a fantastic job of playing square. It's important to play with your shoulder square, shuffle your feet, and then accelerate through the tackle. He couldn't have done it any better.
Still scoreless here as Minnesota now huddling up about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which is still the Golden Gophers 39. Minnesota going right to left, ball on the far hash, scoreless game. 7 minutes to go, first quarter. This one started an hour late because of weather. Brosmer after the play action is going to throw, and he goes down. He had pressure in his face from the start. Jafari Ritzie, Kamen Rucker, and others met Brosmer in the backfield.
Yeah, Carolina brought down their safety, Stick Lane, and brought him off the edge, which caused a major part of disruption for Brosman. Jeff Collins has done a fantastic job of mixing up his defenses early in this football game.
First sack of the year, loses 9 yards for Minnesota. Ritzie is going to be given credit for the sack. That is his... He now has 3.5 in his Carolina career. Brings up a 3rd and 19 now for for Minnesota, going off its own 30-yard line. Brosmer will throw. Atkinson coming. Can't get to him in time. Dumps it off in the flat. It's caught short of the first down. Trying to get near the sticks. Boy, it's going to be close. Going right out of bounds, right at the yard to gain was Jordan Newman. And that is going to be a 3rd down conversion on 3rd and 19. Caleb LaValle, a redshirt freshman, missed the tackle for Carolina in the open field. Tar Heels trying to sub late, and they do not get the man off the field. Minnesota will throw it down the field. Here come more flags. Marcus Allen's going to be called for pass interference. So multiple penalties on the play. Carolina had too many men on the field. They couldn't get Tyler Thompson off in time. And then Allen called for the pass interference. So Minnesota will choose that one, I assume, giving them 15 yards, and they'll get deep into Carolina territory.
You have to take a timeout right there. I know timeouts are valuable, but you're trying to run it. You're in total confusion.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. 12 men on the field, defense. That penalty will be declined. Pass interference, defense, number 27. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
I think he meant 29, which is Marcus Allen, not 27. So the Carolina defense had gotten to the point where Minnesota was looking at a 3rd and 19, but LaValle could not make the tackle in the open field on the dump down. That turned into a first down, and things have gone south since then. Minnesota now at the Carolina 36-yard line with a 1st and 10. First time that the Gophers have been in Tar Heel territory. Brosmer in the shotgun. Has Major to his right, 2 receivers to the right, and 1 to the left. Brosmer awaiting the snap, still scoreless. 5:44 to go, first quarter. Brosmer takes a break, steps up to the line. Now he's ready to go. Gets the snap, quickly pitches out to Major right side, gets the corner turned, and gets to the 32-yard line for a gain of 4. Travis Shaw, the junior from Greensboro, with the stop.
Yeah, good job by Brosman right there to pick up, 5 on first down. He checked into that play, saw something in the Carolina defense. We were able to get that quick pitch out there, pick up a quick 5 yards.
0-0, Carolina and Minnesota. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard run on first down. Brosmer from Roswell, Georgia, the New Hampshire transfer. Has 2 receivers to either side tight to the line. And Major, the running back, to his right. Brosmer will throw. Looks to his left, quickly delivers, and caught in heavy traffic. Shy of the first down by Elijah Spencer. He had a couple different Tar Heels around him, including Jakeem Harris, the NC State transfer. Amari Campbell was there as well. The ball advances to the 27-yard line. It's 1 yard shy of the first down. That'll bring up 3rd and 1.
And I think that's where Brosmer is going to be at his best. So it's getting the ball out of his hand quickly, the very short underneath routes. Carolina at some point is going to have to take a chance in this game, try to jump one of those routes for an interception.
Brosmer under center. Everybody right in the box, both offensively and defensively. Brosmer going to sneak it and easily has the first down. In fact, he gets 3 yards on the sneak to the Tar Heel 24-yard line. So Minnesota failed on its first 2 third downs. It is converted on 2 third downs this drive, a 3rd and 19, and they're a 3rd and 1. And now Minnesota at the Tar Heel 24-yard line. Moving from right to left, clock melting away now in the first quarter. Still scoreless. Each team's had the ball twice for full drives. Minnesota had gone 3 and out twice. Carolina had turned it over on downs and then gone 3 and out. It looks like Minnesota might take another timeout. They are not even attempting to move up to the offensive line or to the ball, as there was an injury, I think, on that play as well. Ariante Ursisi, the really good left tackle, steps away off the field for Minnesota. And I think that might be why Minnesota took the timeout, as now Ursisi is back coming into the huddle on the sideline. This is going to be a full timeout in the stadium. We're going to keep it here, though. 3:41 to go in the first quarter, still scoreless. And Joe, obviously the 3rd and 19 conversion has given Minnesota's offense a little bit of juice. I want to talk about Carolina's offense, though. 2 very different drives for the Tar Heels. They had really great field position, made some progress, but didn't quite click on that 4th down, and then were pinned so far back and couldn't do anything on the second drive. What have you seen from that offense so far?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the good field position, what do you have to take advantage of? When you get great field position like that, you have to convert those into some type of points, whether that's field goal or a touchdown. However, on the other side, when you're coming out of the soup from your own 3 or 4 yard line, you at least have to convert some first downs in order to make that happen. I think Max Johnson right now just comes across to me as just being a little bit hesitant. They had a Laird route, I believe it was on a second down, where he rolled out to his left side and had Bryson Nesbitt, but he just needed to pull the trigger and let it go. I think Max has just got to settle in, relax, and just play his game. Don't be afraid to make the throws and when you have to, and don't be so concerned. You almost feel like he's playing right now, worried about making mistakes. Sometimes you just got to let it go.
Carolina does have a sack, which is a sack to give back. Food Lion Feeds will donate 1,000 meals to support the Tar Heels local food pantry. Keep cheering on the quarterback sacks to help Food Lion give back. Food Lion's the official grocer of the ACC. And again, on that North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard, still scoreless here in Minneapolis. 0-0, 3:41 to go in the first quarter. There is two other games involving ACC teams. Wake Forest leads North Carolina A&T 31-10. That is third quarter in Winston-Salem. NC State and Western Carolina are tied at 14. That is starting the second half in Raleigh. So Minnesota had 11 total yards on his first two drives, has 22 yards on this one. And we have Lee Pace. Lee, we've had some equipment issues. Lee joining us best way he can down on the Tar Heel sideline, our Pinehurst Resort sideline reporter. Lee, what do you have?
Well, we talked pregame about how important the adjustments would be with the offensive line. Randy Clemens is sitting here with Corey Gaynor, the center for the last 2 years, now is a graduate assistant for the Tar Heels. And they're on these tablets, being able to look at the plays that's happened on the first drive and address some of those issues that you and Joe were talking about just a minute ago.
Minnesota, thank you, Lee. Those reports brought to you by our friends at Pinehurst, home of the 2024 U.S. Open. Had a great time. I went to a couple rounds down there this year. History is made in Pinehurst, one moment at a time. This moment, though, has Minnesota 1st and 10. Cece is back in at left tackle for Minnesota. So it was either an equipment issue or a minor thing that took him out. Brosmer play action, has a lot of time to throw. Will choose to dump it off in the flat, and it is incomplete. Near side to Major. Looking for a deep shot. Carolina had covered it well deep. Brosmer chose his check down, but threw the ball low. 2nd and 10.
That's a great job by Carolina's defense, playing solid assignment football. Brosmer tried to roll out to his right, get the deep crosser coming on the deep side to the right side, and then nothing was there because Carolina doubled it to the wide side of the field, tried to come back to the near side, and Carolina was all over that too. Very well fundamentally played defense right there.
Minnesota in field goal range at its own 24, 2nd and 10, moving right to left. At the Carolina 24. As the Gophers going to keep it on the ground. Big hole up the middle. Major makes a man miss and cuts forward to the 16. That's the biggest gap we have seen in that Tar Heel defensive line. And Major took advantage, getting a gain of 8 to bring up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, we lost a linebacker right there. Linebacker got caught up in the mix, wasn't able to scoop over the top and fill that hole. Just has to be a little bit more patient in his fundamentals and then fall into that hole, square his shoulders, make the tackle.
Marcus Allen came up and made the stop out of the secondary for Carolina to bring up 3rd and 2. Minnesota's already converted 2 third downs on this drive. They have just one receiver in the formation. It's Brockington well out to the left. Everybody else is on the line of scrimmage except the running back Major, who gets handed the ball and has the first down. In fact, he's inside the 10. It will be 1st and goal at the 9. Marcus Allen again had to make the tackle. So that's back-to-back plays that the corner has made the stop on the run play for Carolina. Minnesota grinding the ball off its own 39 to the Tar Heel 9, 1st and goal.
Yeah, Minnesota's doing a good job. They went with an unbalanced formation right there and made you really think they're going to go the right side. Started right and then cut back to the left middle. Opened up a nice little hole. It's a good play for them.
10th play of the drive. There was a pass interference on this drive as well that helped Minnesota's cause. 1st and goal from the 9. First time either team's had a goal-to-go situation. Still scoreless in Minneapolis. Minnesota trying to change that. Here comes pressure. Brosmer's ball is tipped and incomplete. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. That caused it to come up behind the intended receiver, Elijah Spencer. Spencer actually reached back and got a hand on it as well, but could not bring it in. And it will be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, you can see that Carolina's front four is doing a good job of getting pressure on the quarterback. Brosmer throwing off his back foot right there. He could really feel it heating up.
Boy, ever since Minnesota converted that 3rd and 19 earlier in this drive, the Gopher offense has been playing with a lot more confidence. Jordan Newman, the lone back behind Brosmer, gets the handoff and nowhere to go. Boy, great tackle coming in by Caleb Cost. Came off the edge and just absolutely bear hugged Newman's legs. He had nowhere to go but down, loses a yard. It'll be 3rd and goal from back at the 10.
Yeah, that's a great job by Caleb Koss. As you can see, Minnesota's tried to stretch run to the left and then look for the cutback. The way that you counter that is you bring Caleb Koss straight down the line, able to cut that off once he comes on the cutback.
So big play here, 3rd and goal from the 10. 90 seconds to go, first quarter. Still scoreless, but Minnesota with the best penetration by either team thus far. This is the 12th play of the drive. Brosmer is going to hand off to Major, stretching to the right side, and he's tripped up. Jakeem Harris comes in from his safety spot and is able to trip up Major for a gain of just 1. So Minnesota goes very conservative on 3rd and goal from the 10, and they will send out the field goal unit.
Yeah, Jeff Collins sees something in this Minnesota offense where he really feels that he can blitz off the edges. They've had a couple blitzes off the edges. One was a safety blitz, one now an outside linebacker there where he's getting a lot of pressure from the outside and getting some free runners.
Dragon Kesich, the top kicker in the Big Ten a year ago, on for just what will be a 27, 28-yard kick right in that range. The left-footed kicker. Oh, he hit the post. No good. Went off the right upright. No good.
There we go.
Kesich only missed 4 kicks last year and had never missed between 20 and 29 yards.
And that's why you just keep playing defense. You just keep tackling. You just keep hustling. You think you got a chip shot. Minnesota, think what a dagger that is to them. They convert a 3rd and 19. They get a penalty on a long play. They drive it down inside the 10-yard line, and they come away with nothing. That's the difference right there for a Carolina defense. Get the stop, miss field goal, get the ball back in your offensive hands, have the opportunity for them. Now the offense needs to step up and do their job.
That was a 13-play drive that comes up empty for Minnesota. The Tar Heels will take over at their own 20. That was more than 7 minutes of possession time for Minnesota on that drive, and it remains scoreless. Max Johnson to throw, has good protection. Now Johnson loses the ball. It is on the ground, and Minnesota's up with it. And Johnson is shaken up. There is a flag down in the secondary. Johnson is up. He had time to throw. That time ran out, and Johnson was hit, lost the ball.
Prior to the fumble, holding, defense, number 7. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, that's a killer for Minnesota. Instead of getting on the fumble inside the 10, the holding call on Aiden Gooseby, redshirt sophomore safety, will not just keep the ball with Carolina, but move the ball out to the 30. Minnesota was one of the least penalized teams in the country a year ago. They had the second fewest yards per game as far as penalty yards in the country. Huge one there, and here comes a huge run. Carolina hands it off, and that is Hampton, who goes up in the air, helicopters his way at the end to the 45-yard line. So a quick pop of 15, best run of the day, has Carolina out near midfield.
Yeah, that's a great job by the offensive line. Seal block inside, seal block outside, creates a big hole for Hampton right up the middle. Could have drove a Mack truck through that thing.
That'll be the final play of the first quarter. So scoreless between Carolina and Minnesota. The Golden Gophers missed a 27-yard field goal and had a fumble recovery inside the 10 that wiped away by a defensive hold. Will be Carolina's ball, 1st and 10 after this from Learfield.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Contact AT. Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
Hey Tar Heel fans, if your game plan this season includes buying or selling a home, you need the Carolinas home team at Allen Tate Realtors. Allen Tate is a proud partner of Carolina Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas with more than 70 local offices. Allen Tate delivers a winning strategy to make your home ownership dreams a reality, including real estate, mortgage, insurance, and relocation services. There's no better time to buy or sell a home, and there's no better company than Allen Tate.
This is the Tar Heel Sports Network from Learfield.
At the Good Feet store, their trained arch support specialist will work one-on-one with you to find the perfect fit. Good Feet arch supports are a game changer because they support all 4 arches in your feet. Whether you're in Chapel Hill, Raleigh, Greensboro, or down by the coast in Wilmington, it's easier than ever to step into a pain-free future. Don't wait any longer. Make the winning choice for your feet. Visit the Good Feet store today and let them show you what a difference the right support can make.
The Good Feet store is a proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
Well, Carolina kind of has stumbled at times, grinds its way through a scoreless first quarter. A couple of breaks, certainly, for Carolina in that first frame. Minnesota missing a short field goal. Gophers jumped on a fumble inside the 10 that was wiped away due to a penalty. Remember, also, there was a potential interception that slipped through the hands of Zaquan Bryan in that first quarter as well. So Carolina living dangerously, but still scoreless heading to quarter number 2. Field will flip. Heels going right to left. They'll have it at their own 45. 1st and 10 on the far hash. Joe, what have you seen through 15 minutes? Well,
I mean, just like you said right there, I think sometimes when you step into a gunfight at the OK Corral, you got to dodge some bullets. And Carolina with the back shoulder fade where JJ slipped, didn't have the interception there, and then obviously the fumble by Max Johnson and getting the holding penalty to get the ball back, then keep the drive live was what's really mattered. But I'll tell you this much. I am thoroughly impressed with the way the defense is playing. They're playing assignment football. They're mixing it up well in their blitzes. They're bringing 3. They're dropping 8. They're bringing 4. They're bringing 5. Their safety blitz. Jeff Collins has done a great job of mixing it up. And most importantly, you can tell that the players are playing free and they know what their assignments are.
Good to see Chris Culliver, who's been banged up a little bit this preseason. He's going to go out wide right. Also, Kobe Paysour coming back from 2 injuries a year ago. He will be in the slot right for Carolina on this first down play, but it is going to be a run. Coming to the near side, Hampton up the gut, bounces off the tackle, bounces off another, and muscles his way to the Minnesota 39. Holy cow. It's like a freight train going downhill.
Yeah, great job getting those shoulders squared downhill, bouncing off tackles, but an excellent job up front by the offensive line. Once again, seal inside, seal outside, create that hole right up the middle. Well done.
Back-to-back runs, Joe, of 15 and 16 for Hampton. Has Carolina at the Minnesota 39. Hampton will stay in the game. Along with Max Johnson in the backfield, he'll stand to Johnson's right. Copenhaver in the backfield as well as a wing on the left side. Johnson is going to throw. Looks to do so. Left side, J.J. Jones nearly made a one-handed catch. He was in a battle down that sideline with Ethan Robinson, the Bucknell transfer, who was first-team All-Patriot League a season ago. And that was incomplete, Joe, but it was a confident and definitive throw by Johnson, which at times he looked tentative in that first quarter.
Yeah, he put it in the right spot. He tried to get to the back shoulder right there downfield. It was just a little hand fight between J.J. and the defender. Came up incomplete, but a good throw. He threw it with some confidence.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Heels going right to left. Second time they've been in Minnesota territory. Still scoreless. 44 seconds into the second quarter. Carolina keeping it on the ground, and this time not much. Crashing off the edge was Kerry Brown, a redshirt freshman safety, mostly special teams last year. He timed that well, got right to the line of scrimmage when Carolina snapped it and tripped up Hampton for a gain of 1. Heels quickly to the line of scrimmage. Now they'll ease up and look to the sideline. Copenhagen, Nesbitt, and Jones. 3-man bunch to the near side. Lone receiver to the far side is Culliver. Heels going right to left. Hampton standing to Johnson's right. Still 10 on the play clock for 3rd and long. Johnson to throw. Has time, steps up in the pocket. Coming to the near side, he's going to tuck it and run. Has the first down and more. Johnson gets out of bounds, shy of the 20-yard line. Good decision there. Confident run by Johnson. Picks up 16 for the first down.
Yeah, that was a really good job by Max Johnson right there. Carolina was trying to run a little snag route out of a trips formation. Nothing was there, and he pulled it, ran for the first down.
Good yard line, 22, choo-choo. Carolina going to hand it off to Hampton. Ooh, he had a hole, but just got tripped up at the line of scrimmage. He's going to gain 2. Had he been able to step through that tackle, he had some space in front of him. As it is, it will be 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line for the Tar Heels in the red zone for the first time.
Yeah, I like the style of play by Carolina. Johnson scrambles with first down, converts that 3rd down. They come in right away, go with a hurry-up offense, hand the ball at the middle. You keep doing that throughout the course of the game, it'll take its toll.
8 carries, 46 yards so far for Hampton. Johnson going to throw. Pressure right in his face. He steps out of it, coming to the near side. Here comes a flag. Johnson throws it underhand out of bounds as he fights through a tackle. And I think that is going to be an incompletion, but flag is down, and that's in the area of holding. That's twice Johnson has kind of gotten...
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense, number 91. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
We'll take it.
In the area of holding, but quite the opposite. Devin Eastern, hands to the face. That's another massive penalty on Minnesota. So instead of 3rd and 8, Carolina will have it 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. What I was going to say was that's a couple times Johnson has just made some wild throws.
Yeah.
The fumble was, I think he was trying to throw it on that play when it got called back for a foul or for a penalty, and then that one underhanded out of bounds, but it all turned out okay. Hand off to Hampton. Stops at the line of scrimmage, patiently waits, pushes forward, Pyle surging ahead. He'll be down at the 5.5, we'll call it the 6. Gain of 4. Devin Eastern, who just had that big penalty, made the stop.
You know, one thing that I've noticed, Jones, through this game so far is, Max seems a little bit off his timing, but Carolina's receivers have not done a great job of getting open. Minnesota's secondary has covered them well. They've tried to run some different route concepts. They've played them man-to-man. They played them zone, and it just feels as if Carolina's receivers haven't created much separation.
Carolina has just 10 yards passing. Johnson 2 of 6 for 10 yards. Jones with a 7-yard catch. Hampton with a 3-yard catch. Going to be Hampton on the toss sweep right side. He gets elevated at the 5 and ends up kind of body surfing his way to the 3 as he just jumped up in the air with defenders coming to him and glided for a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and goal.
I think this is where you need to see Chip Lindsey do his best work. Carolina's played through some from adversity through so far, and so now whatever you got in your little bag right here to have a good pass route to get a tight end wide open or something, this is the time to use it.
9th play of the drive is 3rd and goal from the 3. Johnson to throw. Pressure comes, steps out of it. Johnson steps through a tackle, dive for the goal line. No signal yet. Yes, touchdown, Carolina.
There we go. This one's close. This one's real close.
The officials took a long look at one another.
He got it. I think he got it, Jones.
Head first dive by Johnson. I think he did too.
I think he got it.
As we get a look at the replay, and Johnson, remember, he just has to break the front line of that goal line. I think he clearly did that before any part of his body was down, as Johnson is able to just get there for the touchdown. So first score of the year is on a 3-yard scramble by Max Johnson. That is his sixth rushing touchdown of his college career. Noah Burnett on to try and add the extra point, which he does. And Carolina fights its way down the field. A couple of big penalties in there as well. But the Tar Heels take advantage of those breaks and get on the scoreboard first. 11-12 to go in the second quarter. Carolina 7, Minnesota nothing. Gophers will get the ball after this from Learfield.
Drive into summer with the Honda CR-V and Accord, your fun-to-drive weekend getaway vehicles. From Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So hurry in to the Honda Summer Event. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2025 CR-V or 2024 Accord.
Take your Tar Heels tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Did you know that your unused medications could end up in the wrong hands? It's important to keep your medication secure in a locked location, such as a locking box or locking cabinet. When it's time to dispose of them, safely and properly dispose of old, expired, or unused meds by using an at-home disposal product or a medication disposal box in your community. Don't miss out on medication take-back events happening near you. Don't let anyone take what's yours. Lock your meds. Be aware. Don't share. Learn more at lockyourmeds.org/NC.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Carolina Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
All the action, all season long. You're listening to Tar Heel Football.
Carolina 7, Minnesota 0. Max Johnson with the 3-yard touchdown run. Johnson had a couple of big runs on that drive on third down. Remember, he had the 16-yard run. They got Carolina a first down in that drive. Tar Heels now 3 for 5 on third down in the game. That was a big part of the game a season ago. Carolina was 12 of 17 on third down against Minnesota in that win in Chapel Hill. After the game, we'll have our Best of the Game feature. It's our Player of the Game, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. So, Joe, not perfect. Carolina just 10 yards passing, but 73 yards on the ground so far. A couple of Minnesota mistakes. Carolina's taken advantage, and Heels have a 7-0 lead with 11-12 to go in the first half.
Yeah, you got to look at the positive right now. The positive, like you said, 7-0 lead, and they've overcome adversity. They've had to face some adversity. They've overcome it. The offensive line has done a fine job of opening up good holes for Omarion Hampton. And then, even though Max Johnson's numbers don't look great, he has shown some moxie, a little bit of savvy. When things in trouble, he hasn't panicked. He's scrambled for a touchdown, scrambled for a first down. So overall, there are a lot of positive things happening.
Quentin Redding will let the kickoff go over his head through the back of the end zone. I tell you what, right when Liam Boyd kicked that, I thought it was going to be short, and gosh, it hopped 9 yards in the end zone on the bounce. So good kick by Boyd, and it will be Minnesota's ball on the touchback at the 25-yard line.
This Carolina defense right here, I think you can feel a little bit of that confidence coming in them. They've, like I said, they've mixed it up. They've tackled well. Aside for the one, you take away that 1 3rd and 19 where they had an opportunity to get off the field and miss a tackle. You take that one play away. Overall, they've done a good job playing solid, fundamental defense, and then from scheme-wise, they've mixed it up well.
Boykins is on the field for Carolina. That's DeAndre Boykins back after an injury, kept him out all last year. A few more subs we'll tell you about in a second, but the first down run gets only a couple on the left side as Joshua Harris, the graduate transfer, started his career at NC State, then Ole Miss. Josh Harris is married with 2 kids.
Whoa. Outstanding.
That is a run of 3, 2nd and 7. So Harris, one of those reserves. So is Shaw, Atkinson, Tyler Thompson at the rush-in spot. Also out there is Tyron Stewart, a junior college transfer. He's at one of the corner spots. I think it's the first time he's been in this evening. 7-0 Carolina, 10:33 to go and counting. Second quarter for Minnesota, 2nd and 7 after the first down run. Jordan Newman, now the running back, standing to the right of Brosmer. Brosmer going to play action. Pressure coming. Campbell swings him down. Second sack of the game. That belongs to Amari Campbell, and it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, Carolina did a great job of disguising the defense. They made it come down, make it look like they were going to bring another safety down, rush him with Amari Campbell. The safety backed out at the last second, and then Amari Campbell did an excellent job working to the inside and then working back to the outside around the guard and able to get to the quarterback. Well executed.
So Minnesota, I have them at 2 of 5. The stats have them 1 of 5 on 3rd down. This will be 3rd and 11. Remember, they converted a 3rd and very long. As Brosmer will throw. Pressure there. Steps out of it, and now he's dropped again. This time it's Ritzy. That's his 2nd sack of the day. Back-to-back sacks. And Minnesota goes 3 and out.
Yeah, great job up front by Carolina. They bring a 5-man pressure, but what they do on the inside is they start working their twist game. Des Evans crashes way down inside, working way all the way to the center. Bo Atkinson wraps around him, able to get on him.
Is now number 42.
Well, look, it's only been 4 drives for the opposition, but Carolina's defense flying around right now. And they will get the football, assuming nothing crazy on this punt. Huzzy will field it at the 31 near side. Huzzy's going to try and go all the way across the field. Gets a big block, but here comes the flag. Huzzy's at midfield. It's going to be a great return that's going to come back. Huzzy advances all the way to the Minnesota 44, but multiple flags down. 47-yard punt. Huzzy, we know he's a good return man. That was a 25-yard return, but unfortunately, I think that flag's going to be on the heels. At least one of them. Don't know about the other one.
Yeah, the thing on that play, Jones, is all you have, the defender for the penalty was a blindside block. All he had to do in order to avoid the penalty, and there's no chance the defender would make the tackle, was just shield him off. He didn't have to lay his shoulder into him and put him on the ground, and that's what they're going to call the penalty for.
Well, I tell you what, that's a great term that you just used, is blindside block. Let's see if they determine if this is a block in the back or a blindside block, which will be more severe. There is also a Minnesota player who is shaken up and is down. Gopher trainers working on the right leg. It appears to be Jayonte McMillan, excuse me. Now the official's having a long conversation with Mac Brown, who was smiling, but I think it was a condescending smile. At least that's my report from up here, guys. We'll find out.
Yeah, this is a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, because, I think DeAndre Boykins might be out of the game, as he is the man who threw the block. And if it's a blindside block on Boykins, he can be ejected for that play.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 on each team. Illegal formation, kicking team. Personal foul, illegal blindside block, receiving team. North Carolina has chosen to offset those fouls, and we will re-kick.
Okay, so It is not an ejection on Boykins, but it is the blindside block. I tell you what, Joe.
There was also a sideline warning on North Carolina. Their first warning of the game.
All right, so everybody keep all that information in your pocket.
Keep it in there.
That's a couple of big mistakes by Minnesota.
Yeah,
I mean, an illegal formation on a punt.
Yep.
That would have pushed Carolina back had it played out the same way. Tar Heels going to start inside their own 20, and instead it's going to be a repunt.
Yeah, Carolina's definitely got the calls in their favor this game. The fumble by Max Johnson, that is a holding penalty that got the ball back, kept the drive alive. This play right here. So they've been fortunate on that side of the ball right now.
Stations, we owe you an ID. We will try and take it after this punt. Still 7-0 Carolina. 8:44 to go in the second quarter. A 3-yard Max Johnson scramble on 3rd down. the only score thus far. Big news for Carolina has been the defense holding Minnesota to just 45 yards so far. Another kick away. Don't think Huzzy's going to have a chance for a return. And no, he did not, since that one angled out of bounds by like 9 yards into the Minnesota sideline.
Keep going.
Yeah, the officials are going to mark that at the 48 of Carolina. So that is just a 30-yard punt by Mark Crawford. So good field position for Carolina when we return. We're going to take a break. I tell you what, let's take that ID break first. So stations, let's break 10 seconds for station ID. 8:37 to go in the second quarter. Heels up 7-0 on the Tar Heel Sports Network. All right, now we're going to take this break. When we come back, we'll get to Lee Pace. He's going to have a report for us on that Tar Heel sideline. 7-0 Carolina, 8:37 to go, second quarter from Learfield.
Kakalaki, kakalaki, kakalaki all day long. Kakalaki, kakalaki, kakalaki's where I belong.
Did you know that the famously original Kakalaki brand was born in Chapel Hill more than 2 decades ago? Kakalaki is a proud supporter of Carolina athletics, and their sauces and nuts are enjoyed at tailgate parties throughout America. Made by Tar Heels for Tar Heels. Visit kakalaki.com to find out more.
Kakalaki, kakalaki, kakalaki's where I belong.
This is Carolina football from Learfield.
Hello, I'm Ben Cochran, managing partner at Hardison & Cochran, Attorneys at Law. My firm helps good people in North Carolina who have unfortunately had their life turned upside down due to an injury. We help our clients by telling their story and leveling the playing field against opponents who have an army of lawyers fighting to diminish or outright deny their claim. We're ready to help. All you have to do is reach out.
Hardison & Cochran, North Carolina personal injury attorneys, 919-all-4s.
Window World, America's largest exterior remodeler and a proud partner of UNC, provides exceptional quality windows, siding, doors, and more. They're headquartered right here in North Carolina and have enhanced over 100,000 homes across 30 counties for over 25 years. Improving your largest investment with energy efficiency products and creating amazing curb appeal is what they do best. From Raleigh-Durham to Rocky Mount, down to Fayetteville and beyond. Call, click, or visit Window World, a proud partner of Carolina Athletics, today.
SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling football tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. The official ticket marketplace of the Tar Heels. Expect the expected with SeatGeek. 7-0 Carolina, 8:37 to go in the second quarter. We expect to hear from Lee Pace, our Pinehurst Resort sideline report. Look, technology can't keep Lee down. He's just going to call us on the phone. Lee, what's up down there?
Well, they call him the Minister of Mayhem, Jones, and Jeff Collins wants to be in the center of it all. He has reorganized the defensive bench area on the Tar Heels this year. Instead of stretching out the 3 position groups, secondary, linebackers, and D-line, out across about 25-yard area, he's got circular pattern now with seats here. I'm sorry, being bothered here by a putter. It's got 2 rows of benches with seats so that he can be in the middle of it all. He's got the linebackers on one side and secondary on the other and the D-line together. But Collins can be in the middle. He can go from one position to the other. And he and his coaches can get together and look at the tablets with film study after each series.
First play of the drive, as it will be shotgun to Johnson, throwing deep down the field and intercepted. Picked off at the 25-yard line, coming up the far sideline to the 50, to the 40. Still going for Minnesota. Hampton, the last man that can save the Heels. And he finally does. He and Nesbitt able to make the tackle inside the 10-yard line. Justin Wally with the interception and long return. So Carolina had great field position, had the lead, and gave it both back on one play. Well, almost gave back the lead. They certainly gave back the field position and the momentum in the ballgame.
Yeah, great job by Minnesota defender right there, Wally. Bryce Nesbitt has a chance to get that, and he just cuts right out in front of him. Ball goes up on his face mask, able to roll it in. Max Johnson you always got to lead your receiver to the sidelines on those deep crossing routes, which allows it that he can be the only one who can get to the football. He left that ball just a little bit behind Bryson Nesbitt, able to undercut it and make that interception.
He returned it all the way to the Carolina 6-yard line. First and goal now for Minnesota with the Heels up 7-0. A 70-yard return. Brosmer to throw. Dumps it off in the flat. Caught, but an immediate tackle by Huzzy as he drops down Driver after a gain of 1 at the Carolina 5. So the interception and 70-yard return by Wally sets up Minnesota first and goal.
Yeah, great job by Costa, contained player right there, keeping Brosman, try to roll out to the outside and break the edge, be able to keep him in the pocket, and then Huzzy comes back over the top and makes the tackle. That is just good, once again, good fundamental defense. Haven't seen that in a long time.
7:45 and counting, second quarter. Heels had momentum in the ball, but now Minnesota second and goal with Carolina up 7-0. They'll keep it on the ground. Major into the end zone for the touchdown. So the sudden change changes the game for sure. Minnesota needs just 2 plays to go the 6 yards after the pick, and they're an extra point away from tying things up.
Yeah, just ran it straight at us. They were able to wash down the nose tackle on that play. Didn't put it. Kevin Hester got washed down on that play and then just able to run it right up the middle on us. Sometimes down that red zone, you got to bring a lot of people in order to take your chances to get some stops.
So Kesich, who missed the short field goal earlier, converts on the extra point. There are flags down. For Wally, his 6th career interception. Had 1 last season.
Illegal formation, defense lining up over the center. That penalty is declined. The extra point is good.
So it will be 7-7 and the kickoff on the way, and I think we're going to have another full timeout here in Minneapolis. We will. 7:35 to go. Tar Heels had a 7-0 lead and the ball around midfield, and that has quickly changed. Now 7-7 from Learfield.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on, so make it your best summer ever with Ford. Now's the best time to get our best deals on a great selection of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the Ford Explorer, the Ford Bronco family, Ford F-Series, and the all-electric F-150 Lightning. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now at your Ford dealer today.
This is Tar Heel football from Learfield.
You can create a winning image for your team and keep your employees safe and productive with UniFirst. Every UniFirst uniform program includes comfortable workwear and exceptional service. UniFirst also has all the facility and safety products you need to help keep your workplace clean and your customers happy. At UniFirst, we always deliver because you always deliver. UniFirst is a proud partner of Carolina Athletics. Visit us at unifirst.com.
There are 2 words synonymous with flavor: Penn Station. Just those 2 words probably triggered your taste buds and started your mouth watering. Your stomach starts to growl just thinking about those hand-cut fries. It's flavor that triggers your senses, creates memories. It's flavor that makes every Penn Station sub, hot or cold, leave you fully satisfied and full. Flavor is everything, and if you're willing to sacrifice it for anything, you're missing the point. For lunch or dinner, choose Penn Station East Coast subs, where it's flavor overall.
All year long, we are going to come to you from the Lenovo broadcast booth. Lenovo proud to support the Heels this season, a global technology leader that has called North Carolina home since 2005. Visit Lenovo.com, smarter technology for all. Jones Angel, Joe Yock here with you in Minneapolis. Lee Pace fighting through some equipment issues, punters running into him down there on the sideline, but he's still our Pinehurst Resort sideline reporter. Adam Lucas helping us out with stat work, and Ben Alexander, our chief network engineer. You've heard from Dave Nathan. He'll be back at halftime. John Essick in our Tar Heel Sports Network studio. Well, Joe, the biggest play of the game, clearly, is that interception. Carolina had the ball right around midfield with a 7-0 lead. Wiley gets the pick, runs it back 70 yards inside the Carolina 10. 2 plays later, we're all tied up.
Yeah, and you know what, everybody, when you start talking about 2 quarterbacks and early in the season, now the question starts to beg itself is, hey, how much rope do you give Max Johnson as the starter? He's done some good things in scrambling, using his legs to score the touchdown, convert some things, but at the same time, he just really hasn't thrown the ball well. Carolina's receivers haven't helped him a lot by getting open, but this is the problem that you run into, and what all the fans are out there thinking is, okay, is it time to go to Connor Harrell and give him a shot now? That's obviously a decision for Mac Brown to make, but they've been in a quarterback battle all camp.
Johnson 2 of 7 for 10 yards with an interception. He has run it 3 times for 20 yards and a touchdown. The kickoff will be a touchback, so the Tar Heels will take over on the 25-yard line, and Max Johnson is coming back out at the quarterback spot. And again, that last ball, it wasn't as though it was egregious. It was just a little behind, behind Nesbitt, and a great play by Wally, plus the big return.
And when you make those throws, and once again, as I said earlier, you have to throw that ball to the sideline, so the only person that can get it is the Carolina receiver.
7-7, 7:35 to go, second quarter. Carolina huddling up, coming off the sideline. They'll be going right to left, ball on the far hash. Hampton has gone the whole way at tailback. He's there again, has 53 yards on 10 carries. Copenhagen a wing on the left side of the line. Carolina will run that way with Hampton. Boy, took a shot right at the line of scrimmage and still powers forward for 2 yards. Ethan Robinson came up from his cornerback spot to finish the play. Better than 70% of Hampton's 1,504 yards a year ago were after contact. He gained 1,000 yards last year after contact.
Led the nation.
And he picks up 2 there to get it to the 27. 2nd and 8. Snap was a little low. Johnson catches it, and it bounces off the hands of J.J. Jones at the 32-yard line between the numbers and the sideline near side. That's one that should have been caught, and instead it's 3rd and 8. I mean, that's maybe a first down if Jones keeps his feet. At minimum, it would be 3rd and about 1 or 2. And instead, it's 3rd and 8.
Hey, when you have a quarterback that's struggling, receivers got to help him. And J.J. needs to squat down a little bit lower in order to get that ball in. He just wasn't able to pull it in. But they need to help him convert some of these, especially these 3rd downs.
Carolina has Johnson ready to go on 3rd and long. Going to get out of pressure. Steps up and runs out of time. Danny Strigo, 5th-year senior on the defensive line. And again, Johnson had some time, but would have had to throw it on time. Then it broke down, and he was running for his life.
Yeah.
One note, Carolina has done this a couple of times. They brought in an extra offensive lineman and put him in number 89. Luke Masterson has come in to play an extra offensive line a couple of times. Didn't happen on that particular play, but we have seen it a few times. We are going to see Carolina have to punt after a messy 3-and-out. A drop pass and a sack after a run of 2 on 1st down. Still 7-7. Minnesota figures to get good field position, but it's a really good punt. Fielded at the 30 off the foot of McGinnis, and Minnesota only returns it 4 yards by Quentin Redding. So 46-yard kick by McGinnis, who's had a couple of good efforts there from the punter spot. Minnesota will officially have it on its own 35, and now in a tie ball game.
Yeah, you take a look at, everybody's obviously the quarterback's the one pulling the trigger, and he's going to take some heat for this. But, that last drive right there, they get in that third down situation, and the left tackle had a real difficult time, got off balance, and Max Johnson had a guy in his face right away. There wasn't much he could do there. So in order for Carolina, if a quarterback's struggling a little bit, in order for Carolina to start moving the ball, is that those other guys got to give him the protection. The receivers got to get open, and then maybe start a little bit of dinking and dunking down the field and give him some easier throws to build his confidence.
5:59 to go, second quarter. Minnesota 2 timeouts. Carolina has 3. Tar Heels will get the ball to start the second half. Plus, remember, there's the 2-minute timeout as well in college football this year. Slow mesh handoff there by Minnesota, and they get a couple on the straight-ahead run. Gain of 3 by Major, and it will be 2nd and 7.
If I'm Minnesota right now, the most success that they have had, they haven't had great success. Carolina's sacked them a few times, Brosman a few times. The most success they have is in between the tackles. They got to take more of a long-term mentality and keep trying to pound the ball up the middle. That's the scene where they're able to move the football.
Going to be 2nd down from Minnesota in a 7-7 game. Brosmer will throw. Goes over the middle, caught, and an immediate tackle made. Power Eccles was one of the 2 Tar Heels there, making the stop a yard shy of the first down at the 44. It was the other linebacker, Amari Campbell, in the mix as well. But it's a gain of 6 on the dump off over the middle for Minnesota, and it'll bring up 3rd and short. Some light rain continues to fall here, nothing severe, but some light rain here in Minnesota. It's been on and off light rain since this game kicked off. 3rd and short for Minnesota. Official stats have Gophers at 1 of 6 on 3rd down. We think that's wrong. We think they're 3 of 7. And this is a 3rd and short. Snap was low. Brosmer did a nice job to get it and hand off for the first down. I believe it was Major. It was, as he crossed the 45 to the 47-yard line. And a first down. 7-7 game. Carolina had a 7-0 lead and was snapping 1st and 10 off its own 48. But an interception, the only turnover of the game so far. Justin Wally with the pick, returned it 70 yards inside the Tar Heel 10. Minnesota scored 2 plays later, and we're knotted up at 7 late in the first half. Gophers going to run it, and nice job filling the hole there as Major looked like he had some space, but Stick Lane came up. Still going to be a gain of 4, but that could have been a bigger gain had Lane not dove in there and made the hit.
Yeah, great job by Stick Lane filling in that gap. Carolina slanted their entire front, and then they had that, which opened up the hole for the running back to be able to make the cutback. Stick Lane sticks his nose in there and is able to get that runner to the ground quickly. This is a little bit of a dangerous time for Carolina. They're starting to settle in defensively. Now you got to be able to get in the grind. You got to get in the grind and still play tough every down.
Neither team has 100 yards of offense. Carolina 82 and Minnesota 67. Gophers looking for a lot more on this play, and they complete it to the far side near the 30-yard line. Caught there by Daniel Jackson. He's then spun out of bounds by Tyron Stewart, the junior college transfer. But it is a gain of 19, give him 20 to the Tar Heel 29-yard line. One of the bigger plays offensively for Minnesota.
Yeah, that's just a good route by Daniel Jackson. What he did is he was able to go downfield, cut to the post, make it look like he's running a post route, and then back to the corner. Good timing on the throw. Turn the Carolina DB around.
Late sub. Atkinson comes on. Cost comes off for Carolina as Minnesota has everybody tight to the line. Gophers have done this a couple of times offensively to really have a compact offensive look. They are going to run out of it. Spinning away from the first tackle is Major as he comes near side to the 22-yard line for a gain of 7.
Yeah, once again, Jones, this is where it gets, once again, a little dangerous for Carolina's defense. You come out, you're excited, you're mixing it up, everybody's fresh, everybody's playing hard. Now you get in the second quarter, you had a quick change of field position where they got down in the red zone right away and scored. You're back on the field after 3 and out. This is the time you really got to sink your teeth in and start playing good defense. You can't get lackadaisical. You got to keep your energy up and keep playing hard.
So we will hit that 2-minute timeout here with 2 minutes exactly to go before halftime in Minneapolis. Still 7-7, but Minnesota has moved the ball to the Tar Heel 22-yard line. Gophers will have a second and short when action resumes. 2 minutes to go before half. 7-7 our score from Learfield.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
They're not just the Tar Heels, they're your Tar Heels. Customize your Wells Fargo debit card or open an account today and show your Tar Heel pride with every purchase. Get started at wellsfargo.com/Tar Heels. Wells Fargo is proud to be the official sponsor of Carolina Athletics. Copyright 2024, Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Carolina Housing wants you to know that the housing application for the 2025-2026 academic year is now open. We're saving you money and providing a vast array of amazing experiences that go beyond the classroom. From our state-of-the-art Carolina Gaming Arena to our first-of-its-kind student-run Chapel Thrill Escape Room. The best part? It's all just a walk away. Make your student journey memorable, fun, and more affordable. The Housing Selection Priority application is open now until November 12th. Apply today.
We're on the road with Honda dealers of the Carolinas. Take your Tar Heels tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today. You're listening to Tar Heel Football.
Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard reads 7-7. Carolina and Minnesota were at the first 2-minute timeout of the season for a Tar Heel football game. And Minnesota has it 2nd and 3. Moving from left to right at the Carolina 22-yard line. Again, Gophers have 2 timeouts. Heels have 3. Carolina scheduled to get the ball to start the second half. Some scores on the out-of-town North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard. There are 2 other ACC teams in action tonight. Wake Forest has already defeated North Carolina A&T 45-13. NC State in a close game with Western Carolina. It's 24-21 State. Midway fourth quarter in Raleigh. Those scores brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what they do best. Excuse me, Minnesota has 1 timeout, not 2. They have 1 timeout remaining. Carolina does have all 3. Brosmer. With 6 off. Well, they've got a tight end on the near side of the line. Hand off to Major, cuts back, big hole. Steps through a tackle of Eccles. He's at the 10. Steps through another tackle and finally pushed out of bounds. There is a flag down back near the 20-yard line. Stadium folks shot off the fireworks.
Offside. Defense, number 4. That penalty is declined. 1st and 10 minutes. 1st and goal, Minnesota.
So Travis Shaw was offside. And it's going to be a 19-yard gain for Minnesota, who we mentioned nobody had gone over 100 yards. Now Minnesota has 113. Carolina has just 82 yards of offense. This, of course, after a year where Carolina led the ACC and was 7th best in the nation, averaging better than 490 yards per game. Of course, we know there have been some major personnel changes. And right now, Carolina only has 82 yards in the ballgame.
You get down on the goal line here, you've got to take some chances. You can't just let them push you around. You got to get bodies near the line of scrimmage.
Major is the running back. He's already scored once. He'll get the handoff from Brosmer, and he stood up. The pile still moving, and Major will be a yard shy. Power Eccles, one of several blue-helmeted Tar Heels in the middle of that pile. Carolina has 3 timeouts, but the clock is running. It's down to 1:30 right now. Doesn't look like the Heels are interested in using one right here.
You got to use one, at least after this play. But, I mean, with 3 timeouts, he'll save that clock, get a chance to go down, score.
Minnesota can milk this clock to about a minute before snapping the ball. They've got 2nd and goal at the 1, trying to take its first lead of the game. Brosmer under center. He is going to try the sneak, and still no signal. The officials come in to try and clean it up, and now the arms go up. The clock stops at 55 seconds as Minnesota has taken the lead. So Carolina had the ball at its own 48-yard line with a 7-0 lead. Through that interception, and since then it has been all Minnesota. The Gophers have scored on back-to-back possessions. This one on 9 plays to cap off a 65-yard touchdown drive. Brosmer with the sneak and the score. It's his 11th career rushing touchdown. And it makes it 13-7 with the extra point en route. Left-footed kicker Kesich gives Minnesota the 14-7 advantage.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a critical time for Carolina. Hey, you made some mistakes. You throw the interception, they get the quick touchdown, you're 3 and out. Defense doesn't stop them there, drives it down. Somebody on the offensive side of the football needs to step up. Even with 55 seconds left and not playing very good offense, you still have to be in attack mode. You're not going to become a great team if you say, but hey, we're just going to try to get out to the half and get the football back. I still think that Carolina's offense right here needs to be able to try in 55 seconds, 3 timeouts, do something where we get the ball in field goal range and kick a field goal before halftime and then get the ball back to start the second half.
It's not as though Minnesota's been lighting it up offensively. They have 116 yards. Brosmer is 6 of 10 for 53 yards. Major does have 73 yards on the ground and a touchdown. But Carolina's offensive numbers, Hampton 11 carries, 55 yards. Johnson 4 rushes for 17, but the passing 2 of 8, 10 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. Kickoff will be a touchback. We'll see what Carolina elects to do with 3 timeouts, 75 yards in front of it. Again, they've gained 82 to this point in the half. And Carolina is due to get the ball in the second half. Max Johnson back out there.
I mean, especially with Minnesota only having 1 timeout left, I think you got to stay in attack mode. You got to try to do something positive before the end of the half.
Since that interception, Minnesota has run 11 plays for 71 yards. They had 45 total yards on 21 plays before that. Carolina went 3 and out on its only possession after the interception. Johnson is going to throw. Minnesota rushes 4, quickly over the middle. Caught. J.J. Jones at the 35, spins forward to the 38. Clock will stop momentarily on the first down.
There you go. Some over. Get J.J. Jones doing a button hook over the middle of the field. Much easier throw for Johnson.
Carolina moves quickly. Johnson looking to his right, dumps it off. Caught there and quickly getting out of bounds, although a late flag comes in. It was McCollum who made the catch. That was his first of the day. I think it's going to be an offensive pass interference, perhaps.
Pass interference, offense, number 7. 15-yard repeat first down.
Well, that one hurts. That's on redshirt freshman Christian Hamilton. As everybody in the world runs those pick plays, you just can't make it look too blatant that you are trying to block the man off.
Jones, I just watched the replay on the screen here. That is an awful call. You can see right here. He's running a slant route right here. The ball's already in his hands. Maybe he does get him a little bit early. All right, I'll give it to the ref on that one. You watch on the replay here. He does stay his hands on him a little bit early.
That moves the ball all the way back to the 23. And 42 seconds left. Still the 3 timeouts. Minnesota now leads 14-7. And Carolina's going to keep it in the air. Well, are they? Johnson's going to be slung down inside the 15 as Anthony Smith A redshirt sophomore comes in for the sack. And now Carolina's going to take a timeout?
North Carolina, that's their first charge of the half. 30-second timeout.
So the Heels are going to take a timeout after the sack moves the ball back to the 16. And it's 2nd and 32. That's the first timeout of the half by the Tar Heels. They'll have 2 left, 34 seconds to go. Remember, Carolina does get the ball to start the second half. Sack-wise, that's the second of the half for Minnesota. Carolina has 3 here in the first half. Both defenses have done a nice job creating some pressure.
Yeah, right here, Minnesota will. I expect Carolina's just going to run the football with 2nd and 32, so nothing bad happens. Minnesota will call timeout right after this play.
Minnesota only has 3 men on the line of scrimmage. Everybody else is at least 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage for Minnesota. It's going to be a little shovel pass to Hampton. Pops it to the outside, and he is dragged down from behind by Cody Lindenberg at the 21-yard line. So a gain of 5. I don't think either team is going to take a timeout here.
Let it go to the half. They only have 1.
Carolina has come up to the ball, but I think they will just ease off and head to the locker room. So Carolina had the 7-0 lead midway second quarter. The lead and the ball and some momentum. But the second half of the second quarter dominated by Minnesota from that interception on. The Gophers score on the next 2 possessions, keep Carolina's offense behind the chains, and take a 14-7 lead into the halftime locker room. Carolina last season was just 1-3 when trailing at the half. And that's where they find themselves this evening. 1.5 gone in Minneapolis. Minnesota 14, Carolina 7 from Learfield.
Drive into summer with the Honda CR-V and Accord, your fun-to-drive weekend getaway vehicles. From Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So hurry in to the Honda Summer Event. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2025 CR-V or 2024 Accord.
Take your Tar Heels tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit kbb.com for more information.
Texting while driving takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. That's like driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed. Research shows you are 3 times more likely to get into an accident when distracted by a cell phone. I'm joining Trusted Choice independent insurance agents to urge you and your families to put down your phone. Every day in the U.S., more than 9 people are killed and 1,000 injured in crashes involving a distracted driver. Let's have a hands-free NC. Brought to you by Trusted Choice independent insurance agents of North Carolina. Learn more at trustedchoice.com/GoHeels.
This is the Tar Heel Sports Network from Learfield.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
It is the Wells Fargo halftime show back in our Tar Heel Sports Network studios. Dave Nathan saying hello and reminding you our score at the break is Minnesota 14 and Carolina 7. Not a lot of offensive fireworks in the game's first 30 minutes, but still a half of football left to determine the outcome as the Gophers fell behind but came on strong, scoring on their final 2 drives to make it a 14-7 lead for Minnesota. We've got stats, highlights, and, of course, scores on the North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard. Helping you is what they do best. So as we fire up the music, let's get right to it. North Carolina State had a battle on its hands with Western Carolina entering the fourth quarter. State trailed but has reeled off consecutive touchdowns and now leads 31-21. Casey Concepcion, 9 catches, 121 yards, 3 touchdowns for State's top wide receiver. Grayson McCall, meanwhile, the transfer from Coastal Carolina, has passed for 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Again, with 4 minutes and 18 seconds to play in Raleigh, State leads Western Carolina 31-21. Wake Forest had no issues in getting by North Carolina A&T. Earlier, the Deacs led 17-10 at the break and outscored the Aggies 28-3 in the second half. Final score, Wake Forest 45, A&T 13. ACC action coming up tomorrow. It is Elon visiting Duke at 7:30. Then TCU plays Stanford at 10:30. Saturday's ACC play begins at noon with number 14 Clemson trying to take down the number 1 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. 3 other games at noon feature ACC teams. Virginia Tech and another ACC-SEC showdown is in Nashville to play Vanderbilt. Austin Peay heads to Louisville for a date with the Cardinals, and it's Kent State versus Pittsburgh. Later at 3:30 on Saturday, number 19 Miami takes on Florida. Ohio battles Syracuse. That's another 3:30 game. At 5 o'clock, a newbie to the ACC, California hosts UC Davis. At 6 o'clock, Richmond goes to Charlottesville. Virginia awaits the Spiders there. It's Georgia State and Georgia Tech at 8 o'clock on Saturday, and the nightcap pits Houston Christian against SMU. Action continues into the Labor Day weekend. Monday, 7:30, Florida State back into ACC play against Boston College. This after the Noles dropped a Week 0 game in Ireland to Georgia Tech. So that's what's happening on the ACC schedule and scoreboard. Elsewhere around the top 25 tonight, number 11 Missouri coasting and leads Murray State 48-0 with 13:34 to play in the game. Same score as Kansas, the number 22 ranked team in the polls, has a 48-zip lead on Lindenwood with 10-10 to play in the fourth. Approaching halftime in Utah, the 12th-ranked Utes 35, Southern Utah nothing. That's what's happening on the North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard. Helping you is what they do best. Tomorrow, number 16 Oklahoma hosts Temple at 7 o'clock, and then more action on Saturday. From the shoe in Columbus, number 2 Ohio State hosts Akron at 3:30. At 7:30 on Saturday, it's Idaho and number 3 Oregon. 4th-ranked Texas, making a move to the SEC, plays host to Colorado State at 3:30. More SEC action from Tuscaloosa. It's number 5 Alabama and Western Kentucky at 7 o'clock. 6th-ranked Ole Miss takes on Furman and Oxford. That's a 7 o'clock tilt. Top 20 matchup between Notre Dame and Texas A&M at 7:30. At noon, West Virginia battles number 8 Penn State. Later at 7:30, number 9 Michigan, defending national champs, hosts Fresno State at the Big House. Sunday's lone top 25 game begins at 7:30. This is number 13 LSU and number 23 USC. Back to Saturday's action from Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Number 15 Tennessee welcomes Chattanooga to town. That's a 12:45 kick between those two squads. At 2 o'clock on Saturday, South Dakota State heads to number 17 Oklahoma State. At 7 from Manhattan, it's number 18 Kansas State and UT Martin. Later at 10:30, number 21 Arizona takes on New Mexico, and at noon from Iowa, it's the 25th-ranked Hawkeyes and Illinois State. That, again, is your North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard. Helping you is what they do best. 2:39 left to play in Raleigh. State continues to lead Western 31-21. Our score at the half, Minnesota 14, Carolina 7. We'll come back and sift through the highlights as the Tar Heels down 7 to Minnesota, 14-7 at the break. This is the Wells Fargo halftime show from Learfield.
On game day, there's nothing like tailgating, touchdowns, and Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea goes down smooth and tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Cool, refreshing, and a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
I spy a new Camry.
Ooh, I spy a sporty RAV4.
I spy deals on the entire lineup at the Toyota National Sales Event.
Good eye.
Lease a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE for $349 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through September 3rd, 2024. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.48 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Carolina football from Learfield.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Tar Heel Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness or disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Help us get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
The Wells Fargo halftime show continues. Minnesota leads Carolina at the break 14-7, but it was the Tar Heels who struck first in tonight's game. As we run through first half highlights, this game offensively got off to a slow start. Minnesota got the ball first after Carolina won the toss and elected to defer. The Gophers go 3 and out, punt to the Tar Heels, who moved it off their own 49 to the Minnesota 31, but gave it back to the Gophers on downs. Minnesota, again, a quick drive, 3 and out, forced to punt from its own 39-yard line. It was a fantastic punt that nailed the Tar Heels back at their own 3. Carolina then goes 3 and out before Minnesota has the game's first prolonged drive, 13 plays, 52 yards, but a missed field goal keeps the game 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. The Tar Heels regained possession and then went on the march as we get into the second quarter. Carolina in total goes 9 plays, 80 yards, and scores first from 3 yards out.
Ninth play of the drive is 3rd and goal from the 3. Johnson to throw. Pressure comes, steps out of it. Johnson steps through a tackle, dive for the goal line. No signal yet. Yes, touchdown, Carolina.
There we go. This one's close. This one's real close.
It was a close call, but Johnson was in one of 3 third-down conversions for Carolina. The Tar Heels lead by a score of 7-0 after Johnson's first rushing touchdown as a Tar Heel. And in the second quarter, the Tar Heels up a score with 11 minutes and 12 seconds to play, but then Minnesota would go to work. The Gophers score on their final 2 offensive drives. The first one covered just 6 yards after intercepting Max Johnson, and the deep return set the Gophers up 1st and goal at the 6. 2 plays later would score and tie the game. That made it 7-7 with 7:35 left to play in the first half. Max Brosmer, the other transfer quarterback from out of New Hampshire, now at Minnesota, punched one in from 1 yard away, capping a 9-play, 65-yard drive with 55 seconds left to give us our score of 14-7. In between, the Tar Heels across the defensive front went to work on getting to Brosmer. 3 sacks so far in the game for Carolina. This one, the second one of the game, comes courtesy of Jahvaree Ritzie.
This will be 3rd and 11. Remember, they converted a 3rd and very long. As Brosmer will throw, pressure there, steps out of it, and now he's dropped again. This time it's Ritzie. That's his 2nd sack of the day.
And so, again, in spite of all that, the Tar Heels still trail 14-7 at the break. We'll take a break, come back, and run through first half stats. Not a lot of numbers to get into offensively. Both teams slumping out of the gates. 14-7, Minnesota leads Carolina. We're at halftime from Learfield.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Contact AT. Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
Hey Tar Heel fans, if your game plan this season includes buying or selling a home, you need the Carolinas home team at Allen Tate Realtors. Allen Tate is a proud partner of Carolina Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas with more than 70 local offices. Allen Tate delivers a winning strategy to make your home ownership dreams a reality, including real estate, mortgage, insurance, and relocation services. There's no better time to buy or sell a home, and there's no better company than Allen Tate.
This is Tar Heel football from Learfield.
Coach Mac Brown here. At the Good Feet store, their trained arch support specialist will work one-on-one with you to find the perfect fit. Good Feet arch supports are a game changer because they support all 4 arches in your feet. Whether you're in Chapel Hill, Raleigh, Greensboro, or down by the coast in Wilmington, it's easier than ever to step into a pain-free future. Don't wait any longer. Make the winning choice for your feet. Visit the Good Feet store today and let them show you what a difference the right support can make.
The Good Feet store is a proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
Hey y'all, this is Michael Felder, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way through the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to get your favorite podcast. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Let's go places. Let's go to the stats. And again, not many big numbers. You just flash back to last year. Nate McCollum had 15 catches for 165 yards in the game through a half of play. There's just been 10 total completions between the two quarterbacks. Max Johnson, 4 of 10 for 28 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception passing. Max Brosmer for Minnesota, 6 of 10 through the air, 53 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. On the ground, the big story coming into the game was that Darius Taylor was out of the game. The sophomore tailback for Minnesota is out, and so Omarion Hampton, 11 carries, 55 yards. You thought he'd be the big tailback of the night. That's not the case through the first 30 minutes. Marcus Major has 15 carries for 73 yards and score for Minnesota. In total, Carolina's amassed just 93 yards to Minnesota's 116. Penalties, Carolina's committed 2 for 30 yards. Minnesota's been penalized 3 times for 25 yards. Third down conversions, again, the official game stats on Stat Broadcast appear to be incorrect. Carolina 3 of 6 on third down. Minnesota 4 of 8 on fourth down. The Tar Heels 0 of 1, while Minnesota is 1 of 1. Carolina's got those 3 first-half sacks, so the defense is getting some push against that big Minnesota offensive line. In the red zone, Carolina 1 of 1, while the Gophers are 2 of 3. That will wrap things up as far as your first-half stats go. And Tar Heel fans, plan the beach vacation of a lifetime on North Carolina's stunning Crystal Coast, where you'll enjoy picture-perfect beaches, welcoming waterfront communities, and first-class dining. To plan your Crystal Coast vacation, visit crystalcoastnc.com. Minnesota leads Carolina at the break 14-7. We'll send things back to Minneapolis upon our return from Learfield.
Drive into summer with the Honda CR-V and Accord, your fun-to-drive weekend getaway vehicles. From Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So hurry in to the Honda Summer Event. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2025 CR-V or 2024 Accord.
Take your Tar Heels tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit kbb.com for more information.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Carolina Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
This is the Tar Heel Sports Network from Learfield.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one great team, UNC Health is keeping you well by bringing renewed focus, approach, and dedicated services close to you. Exceptional care is what you and your family deserve. Together, let's put points on the board for life well played. Team up with UNC Health, proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Heading to the second half, Carolina down 14-7. Dave gave you that Crystal Coast read right before the break. The weather report here at halftime, still a little moist out there, a little bit of misty rain, but the serious stuff out of the way. And ready to go for the second half here in Minneapolis. We'll also get the trusted choice of the game, brought to you by the Trusted Choice Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina, who want you to stay safe behind the wheel. Put down your phone while driving. Let's have a hands-free NC. To learn more and find an agent near you, trustedchoice.com/GoHeels. Joe, what do the Heels need to trust in half number 2?
Yeah, I think more than anything, that defense has to trust itself that it can go back to the way that they were playing early in the game, getting those stops, putting pressure on the quarterback. However, the obvious question, the elephant in the room is a quarterback situation right now, and that is something they're going to see in the second half here. Where does Mack Brown decide to go? Do you bring Connor Harrell in, or do you just try to stay with Max Johnson right now? So it's going to be interesting how this thing plays out, but in my humble opinion, I think it could be time. This game, to me, is set up more to be Connor Harrell. Receivers aren't getting a lot of separation, so we need that to be able to run that ball down the field with Hampton and Harrell.
Back to receive for Carolina, Nate McCollum and Darwin Barlow. McCollum's going to have a chance from about the 3-yard line. He'll angle back to the middle of the field and is taken down shy of the 20 at the 18-yard line. And Max Johnson does come off the sideline to be the quarterback here on the first possession of the second half. Johnson was 4 of 10, 28 yards. And an interception in the first half. He did run the ball for a touchdown. Carolina's last 2 drives after that interception, Carolina had 4 plays for -8 yards. Minnesota, after the interception, 11 plays, 71 yards, and 2 scores. 14-7 Minnesota. Heels will send 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hampton has gone the whole way at running back. The snap high. Johnson went up to get it, handed off to Hampton. Hampton can't quite step through the tackle of Lindenberg, but he does drag the talented Minnesota linebacker with him to the 23-yard line for a gain of 5.
Ooh, that was dicey right there. That great job by Max Johnson, be able to get a high snap and get it into Hampton's hands and still pick up 5 yards.
Austin Blaskey, the center, making his first career start. He has 2 years of eligibility remaining after transferring from Georgia. Heels will be in the pistol. Better snap this time. Johnson turns and hands to Hampton. And Hampton gets a yard on the left side. It will bring up third down. Danny Strigo, who's played well, the fifth-year senior from Long Lake, Minnesota, with the stop. Carolina was 3 of 6 on third down in the first half and immediately faced one here, down 14-7.
Yeah, this is where I think that, hey, you're in a situation right now in third and medium, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, that you got to be able to pass the ball, pull the trigger with confidence, try to give them an underneath easy throw if possible.
Third and about 4.5 here for Carolina. Play clock at 7 as Johnson sets up in the shotgun. Hampton to his left. Shotgun snap a little low. Johnson gets it, looks to his right, lets it go, and boy, what a tough catch. Nesbitt in traffic in front of Wally made the grab on the sideline for the first down.
Yeah, that was a really good throw. That window was tight, and Max Johnson just fit it in, and Nesbitt able to come up with a catch. Great job.
So a gain of 10 and a first down. Minnesota will sub, allowed to do so because Carolina subs some personnel. So the center judge standing in the way, that's Ron Kay. Now Carolina can snap it, and they'll run it with Hampton. Hampton plows forward for a gain of 3 to the 37. First drive of the second half. Carolina down 14-7. Cody Lindenberg, we have called his name a bunch. He missed significant time last year. Missed 9 games with injury last season for Minnesota. He is healthy and has been effective tonight, the redshirt senior from here in the state of Minnesota. Carolina will keep it on the ground again. Hampton patiently waits, now explodes left side and gets close to the first down. He'll be a yard shy at the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 will bring up 3rd and 1. Jal Joyner, the defensive end, made the hit. Carolina quickly up to the line of scrimmage. They're not messing around. They give it to Hampton. Oh, my gosh. Hampton falls over Lindenberg and gets the first down. Lindenberg had the stop in the backfield, but Hampton would not be denied. He laid him out and gets an impressive 2 yards for the first down. I mean, that was a 2-yard run, and it was a highlight.
Yeah, there's no doubt that. I'll tell you what, he put that pad level down, and like I said, we said it before, it's like hitting a brick wall. Finally, Hampton is going to get a blow, comes out of the game.
Yeah, it's the first time I can remember seeing Barlow in the game. The transfer from USC, Carolina has really liked what he's done in the training camp, and he'll flare out to the left side and catch a pass on his first action. Gets the corner turn and gets to the 50, so he'll gain 5 yards on the play and bring up a 2nd and 5 for Carolina. So it's the first drive of the second half. Carolina down 14-7 after leading 7-0 deep into the first half. But saw Minnesota score touchdowns on each of its last 2 drives, including a very short field after an interception to make it 14-7. Carolina's 2nd and 5 from midfield. Going from right to left, ball on the near hash. Johnson's going to throw again, quickly out of his hands, and a sliding catch right at the first down marker. It will move the sticks to Nesbitt.
And that's the one area that we've seen a couple throws where Max Johnson has felt comfortable working over top of the middle of the field. I think Carolina, Chip Lindsey, needs to work these linebackers in pass coverage.
Carolina moving quickly will give it to Barlow on the first down handoff. Ducks his head and gets 2 to the Minnesota 43. Tar Heels had to start way back at their 18. Kerry Brown came up and made the tackle. They've moved off their 18 to the Minnesota 43. They converted 2 third downs. Barlow will head to the sideline. Hampton back in on 2nd and 8. 14-7 Minnesota. Clock moving. 10:25 to go third quarter. Heels will set up in the pistol. That means Hampton standing behind Johnson, who's in the short shotgun. He'll play action. Pressure right in his face. Dumps it off to his brother Jake right side. Jake Johnson over the 40 gets near the first down. He may be, I think he's going to be about a half-yard shy in fact, they're going to mark him a full yard behind at the 36-yard line. So a gain of 7 brings up 3rd and short. Carolina moving quickly on 3rd and 1. Right back to the big boy, Hampton, first down. Stepped through a tackle at the line of scrimmage and was able to get the first down. Jackson Howard involved at the end. as the Tar Heels pick up their third down conversion of this drive. They're now 6 of 9 on the game, and that was a gain of 5 to the Minnesota 31. Ball on the far hash as the Heels go right to left. They send Copenhaver in motion. It's going to be an end around to McCollum. Coming to the far side. McCollum cuts back at the 25 and is upended about half a yard shy from the first down, but a good chunk of yards on the end around to McCollum to make it 2nd and short.
This drive has flow to it. A great mix-up in calls by Chip Lindsey. Inside runs, reverses, screen passes, good flow and mix-up.
Carolina with an empty backfield. Johnson with the screen, connects to Hamilton at the 20, breaks through a tackle, and the young receiver bullies his way to the 15. That's Christian Hamilton, the redshirt freshman from Harrisburg, North Carolina, went to Hickory Ridge High School, and he gets a first down, and there's a Minnesota player taking a knee back behind the line of scrimmage. The Tar Heels have moved off their own 18 to the Minnesota 15-yard line, where the Heels will have 1st and 10, but it will come after this timeout for the Minnesota injury. That injury, I believe, is Cody Lindenberg, the linebacker who is down on one knee. We'll get that confirmation during the break. Carolina, some nice movement on this drive, has it 1st and 10 inside the Minnesota 20 from Learfield.
I spy a new Camry.
Ooh, I spy a sporty RAV4.
I spy deals on the entire lineup at the Toyota National Sales Event.
Good eye.
Get 3.99% APR for 36 months on the new 2024 Toyota RAV4. Offer valid through September 3rd, 2024. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.52 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Carolina football from Learfield.
CPI Security is a proud sponsor of Carolina Athletics and is the leading smart home security provider in the Southeast. Protecting what's important, CPI can secure your home or business from break-ins, fires, carbon monoxide alarms, and more. With professional installation, you won't have to lift a finger, plus you can count on CPI's local monitoring center to get you the help you need when you need it. Get the protection your family deserves today with CPI Security. Just visit cpisecurity.com for more information.
Lee's 24-hour Towing is family-owned and operated since 1995. We provide fast and reliable towing, recover service, and roadside assistance for Durham and Orange counties in North Carolina. No matter the day or time, our dispatchers can schedule service, and our towing operators are happy to assist your needs. Our promise is to offer fair and affordable pricing for all of our towing and recovery services. Our well-trained and certified operators will provide you with the highest level of customer service experience. Lee's 24-hour Towing, preferred hauler of Carolina football equipment.
All right, we have a bunch to talk about, but first, let me tell you, there's 8:45 to go in the third quarter. Minnesota 14, Carolina 7. We do need to break 10 seconds for station identification. We've just crossed 11 o'clock Eastern time, so let's break 10 seconds down the lines on the Tar Heel Sports Network. First and 10 at the 15. We'll have to talk to you in a second because Carolina's already snapped it. Long mesh play. Johnson pulls it from Hampton, now lowers his head and has nowhere to go. He is stood up by multiple Golden Gophers. No gain on the play. Devin Eastern, one of several Minnesota players in the mix, as was Devin Williams. So, first of all, let's tell you we're proud to be sponsored by Modelo, an official beer of the Tar Heels. The injured player was not 45 Lindenberg. It was 46 Lucas Finnessy, a redshirt senior from Sussex, Wisconsin. This will be now the 15th play of the drive for Carolina. It is a toss sweep to the near side, and Hampton is bottled up, loses 4 yards on the play. Back to the 19, Ethan Robinson with the stop. And so, Joe, Carolina has gone to a much different-looking offense. It has certainly resulted in some success, although now they're looking at 3rd and long.
Yeah, they've made some adjustments and they're able to get the ball, run the ball in between the tackles, but yet get the ball out of Max Johnson's hands, which has helped him a lot. Now, all of a sudden, they come out of that injury timeout, and they've got bogged down.
Yeah, this is a huge play here, 3rd and long. Carolina with Cullivert, Nesbitt, and Copenhaver out to the right. Jones, the lone receiver, to the left. Johnson's going to dump it off in a screen to Hampton. Shakes off a tackle. He's at the 15. Gets inside the 15, but needed the 5-yard line for a first down. He is not close to that. He is knocked out at the 12. So it's a gain of 7, and Carolina's going to send on the field goal unit to try and get some points out of this lengthy drive.
Yeah, it was a good drive. Max Johnson come on after facing a ton of adversity, not doing well in the first half. They completely revamped their playbook in terms of play calling, got the ball out of his hands, able to drive down, tried a little something right there with the keeper with Max, and now we just got to be able to convert this field goal.
It's a 29-yarder off the left hash for Noah Burnett. Snap back, spot down, kick is up, and it's right through there. So Carolina goes 17 plays.
Positive.
And more than 7 minutes of possession time. And they get a field goal out of the drive. Still trail, but now it is 14-10 with 6:34 to go in the third quarter. The previous 4 drives for Carolina were combined 16 plays. That drive alone was 17 plays, 70 yards, 8:21. 8:21 off the clock.
Yeah,
Heels still down, though, 14-10 from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
From the mountains to the coast, 2.5 million North Carolinians are members of an electric cooperative. As a co-op member, you're part of exciting efforts to power a brighter future in the Tar Heel State. Beyond providing electricity that powers our lives, electric co-ops are strengthening local communities with education grants, economic development, innovative energy projects, and tools to help you better manage your home energy use. Learn more at ncelectriccooperatives.com.
Every day in the U.S., more than 9 people are killed and 1,000 injured in crashes involving a distracted driver. You can't control other motorists, but you can control how you operate your vehicle. Avoid distractions while driving, like texting or checking social media. You can't drive safely unless driving has your full attention. Any non-driving activity you engage in increases your risk of crashing. Brought to you by Trusted Choice Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina. Learn more at trustedchoice.com/GoHeels.
All the action, all season long. You're listening to Tar Heel Football.
Tar Heel offense was a little stuck in the mud at times in the first half. Got some momentum there on the first drive, a lengthy drive to start the second half. 17 plays, 70 yards in 8:21. For Carolina last year, the most plays the Tar Heels had in a drive was 17. That was against Syracuse. The longest drive time-wise Carolina had was 8:09 last season, also against Syracuse. So that one that Carolina just had was longer than any drive that the Tar Heels time-wise had last season. They did have to settle for the field goal, though, to make it 14-10, Minnesota on top. If your game plan this season includes buying or selling a home, you need the Carolina's home team at Allen Tate Realtors, proud partner of Carolina Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas with more than 70 local offices. Carolina starting on a Thursday night true road game. Tar Heels have not won a true road game in the season opener since 1993 in Anaheim against USC. Haven't had a ton of chances. 0-1 against Oklahoma, 0-5 Georgia Tech, South Carolina in 13, 21 against Virginia Tech. And they find themselves down 14-10 right now. Liam Boyd, end over end kick, and it will be a touchback. It looked like a late decision there by Quentin Redding, but he did let it go over his head, and Minnesota will start on the 25. So, Joe, Carolina gets some points on the board, held the ball for a long time.
Yeah.
That defense has been able to rest for a while now between halftime and then that long first drive of the second half. So we'll see if that Carolina defense, which looked really good through the first 4 possessions, didn't look as good the last 2 from Minnesota.
Yeah, I think Carolina, with Chip Lindsey, realized he got away from a traditional last year Drake May style of offense and was able to get the ball out of Max Johnson's hands and mix up their style of offense, which helped.
14-10 with 6:34 to go in the third quarter. Minnesota is going to roll out Brosmer to the near side. Now he's looking down the field and knocked away from behind. Really nice defense there by Huzzy as he stuck an arm in and poked the ball free from Daniel Jackson on the second level throw from Brosmer. Brosmer's first look was in the flat, looked to the next level, and Jackson dragging across the field, and Huzzy broke it up.
Yeah, real impressed this game so far with assignment football by the UNC secondary. Trying to give a little eye candy, a little play action, not taking it, and be able to cover in the backfield, cover the crosser. Really good job knowing your assignments and executing them.
Major, who had over 70 yards rushing in the first half, standing to the right of Brosmer. On 2nd and 10, it is a handoff. Major avoids one tackle, but can't get by the second. It was Caleb Cost who was able to come in and trip up Major for no gain, maybe half a yard. We'll call it 3rd and 10 for Minnesota on its first drive. So Carolina held the ball for more than 8 minutes, 17 plays, and has now forced Minnesota into a third, and it's really 9.5, right in between 9 and 10 yards here needed for the first down. It feels like a big play.
Big third down right here. Des Evans came slicing through on that last play.
Carolina has Rucker, Evans, and Atkinson all on the field here, standing up on the defensive line for this third down play. Brosmer will throw quickly out of his hands and incomplete. Sailed it wide to the near sideline. He was looking for Donald Driver's son, Christian, the Penn State transfer, but the throw off the mark. So how about that? Carolina has the ball 17 plays in over 8 minutes. Minnesota, meanwhile, goes 3 and out and does not even take a full minute off the clock. It was just a 55-second drive.
Those were 2 outstanding plays back-to-back by Des Evans. 1 slicing in the backfield, 2 coming on a twist and taking on the guard and forcing Brosman to take the ball out of his hand sooner than he wanted to.
So Crawford on to punt it away to Huzzy. Carolina tries to set up the return. Huzzy will call for the fair catch, lets it go over his head, and it is going to bounce inside the 20. I'm not sure why Huzzy didn't just squeeze that at about the 32, and instead he let it bounce, and it rolls to the 17. So Carolina lost some field position there, and Huzzy's a good punt returner. We've seen it with our eyes, but a poor decision there, unfortunately. That's going to be a 57-yard punt. We've seen some bombs of the punt today for both teams. And Carolina will be pinned back at the 17-yard line. So Heels have not had great field position. They started on their own 18, turned that into a long field goal drive. Now starting on their own 17. Still down by 4, 14-10, 5:25 to go third quarter from Learfield.
Together. That's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one great team, UNC Health is keeping you well by bringing renewed focus, approach, and dedicated services close to you. Exceptional care is what you and your family deserve. Together, let's put points on the board for life well played. Team up with UNC Health, proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Tar Heel Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
You are the co-pilot. You go by many names, and Marathon knows how important you are to your team. You are the carpool driver, the assistant coach, keeper of the shoulder pads, the knee pads, and the helmets. The back of your car looks like a sporting goods store. You are the top dog at the tailgate. The ride there, the ride home, and in between, you are the biggest fan. This season and every season, Marathon is proud to fuel you and your team because we're driven together.
Minnesota 14, Carolina 10, 5:25 to play third quarter. Tar Heels will have the ball deep in their own territory. They'll start this one at their own 17-yard line after the 57-yard punt. In football, you need a great game plan. Same with your health care benefits. That's why more people trust Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, the state's most preferred health insurer. So put Blue Cross North Carolina on your team, the official health insurance partner of Carolina Athletics. And I tell you what, Lee Pace has called in from that Sideline Pioneers Report sideline reporter. Lee, what's up?
Matt Brown did consider going to another quarterback, but he wanted to give Max Johnson an opportunity, one more play. The coaches just felt like the entire offense was just playing too tight, too loose. So they did some things that Joey Yock said, just to loosen things up, some misdirection, some quick hitters.
And Carolina definitely picked up the pace as far as the quick throws, things like that, and they start on the ground here on this drive, and they get good chunk of yards to the 21, a gain of 4. Devin Eastern with the tackle for Minnesota. So that was 4 more yards for Hampton, who's now up to 78 yards on 19 carries. That is better than 4 yards per carry. He'll go in motion now. Johnson flares it out to him on the right side. Hampton gets the corner turn, but a good open field tackle at the 24-yard line by Coleman Bryson, a redshirt sophomore. He's actually from North Carolina, the only player on Minnesota from the state of North Carolina, from Waynesville. Dad Kirk played baseball at Carolina, and Coleman made a nice tackle there, 2 yards shy of the first down for the Heels. It'll be third and about 2.5 from the 25. Carolina going right to left. Ball at the far hash. Minnesota 14, Carolina 10, 4:25 and counting, third quarter. Heels looking to convert on third down. They're going to try and do it on the ground with Hampton. Up the middle, breaks the tackle and has it again. Boy, what an absolute workhorse Hampton is in the backfield. An All-America a year ago, and he is playing like that tonight. Gets 8 yards on the play.
That O-line, Jones, the O-line and Omarion Hampton are starting to lean on him a little bit. You can feel it.
Carolina to the 33-yard line. Play action this time, and almost intercepted as Johnson threw it to the outside of Pacor. Pacor had cut in on that far sideline. A Minnesota defender flashed by, and Carolina fortunate that it was incomplete. It was Wally who had that interception and 70-yard return in the first half. That was at least in the area there of making another big play. Instead, it will be 2nd and 10. 3:53 to go, third quarter. 14-10 Minnesota. Johnson empties out the backfield. He'll throw the screen to Hampton, caught at the 30, and then Hampton just fights his way back to the line of scrimmage, the 33. And it will be third and long.
Max had an opportunity right there. Minnesota brought they played cover zero across the board and brought a safety blitz. Had a man open over the middle of the field. Just didn't quite hang in the pocket long enough to see him.
Third and long. Clock down to 3:20 here in the third quarter. Carolina had an 8+ minute drive. 17 plays have resulted in a field goal on its first drive of this quarter. Now needs a 3rd and 10. Heels been good on third down, but this one's tough. Pressure coming. Johnson trying to hang in there. Hit as he throws, and a flag comes in the secondary. The pass incomplete. Johnson is shaken up and is down on his back. Flag at the 50-yard line. And Johnson is hurt. So a lot.
Holding. Defense, number 4. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, that's a big penalty on Zaquan Bryan. We've seen a couple of defensive...
Timeout for an injured offensive player.
That's a couple of big defensive holdings called on Minnesota in this game. Johnson, again, just held the ball for an extra second or two and got hit hard. Trying to wait and see if this is going to be a full timeout. It will now be a full media timeout as Johnson is still down. Hands on his head. They appear to be looking at his right leg. Johnson was hurt last year after several games with Texas A&M. He missed the last 4 games with injury. He missed the last 7 games in 2022 with an injury. And he is surrounded on the field right now. So certainly Connor Harrell is going to come in, at least for a play. But there are plenty of folks around Max Johnson right now, including Dr. Alex Creighton, one of the team doctors for the Tar Heels. Luke Ross, the head trainer, I believe, is down there as well. Jeff Spang, another team doctor. Johnson is rolled onto his back.
Yeah, you could see on the replay here where he got rolled up as the defender was trying to bring him to the ground. He rolled up and got his leg caught underneath him. It didn't look awful on the replay, but definitely he was put himself in a very vulnerable position, and hopefully it's more of a scare than anything.
Mac Brown is out as well. PJ Fleck actually came off the Minnesota sideline and checked in on the situation. Johnson is up. He is going to walk to the sideline, but is going to need help to do so. Boy, he's dragging his right leg behind him. I mean, he cannot put any weight on that leg. Now, I think trying to see if the Tar Heels are going to send a couple players out there to try and help Johnson. Gosh, Tylee Kraft, who's in a incredibly serious health battle himself, is coming out. Now several Tar Heels, Connor Harrell, Jake Johnson, Max's brother, J.J. Jones, Christian Hamilton, all coming out to check on Johnson, who's now standing with the support of some medical personnel but is not moving toward the sideline yet. Now multiple other Tar Heels, Chris Culliver, Tyler Thompson coming over. They're going to bring the cart out. Again, Johnson is standing, and it is nothing in the head area. It's a leg issue. But Johnson, I mean, as he was trying to move to the sideline, he couldn't put any weight on that leg. He was literally dragging it behind him. Kamen Rucker, Javari Ritzie now coming over. You can see the respect that Carolina's players have for Max Johnson with just the way that everybody is coming to say something to him. And Johnson is going to gingerly work himself onto the cart to help him get to the sideline. So Johnson, who I would venture to say, would not say he's played his best game, but he has certainly been much better here in the second half. Now 12 of 19 in total with 71 yards, no touchdowns and interception. And Connor Harrell is going to come in for the Tar Heels, and certainly we don't know, but it doesn't look like Max Johnson will return. That's certainly nothing official, but with the way that he is even needing help to get on that cart, it's hard to believe that he'll be back in the game this evening. It's 14-10 Minnesota, 3:02 to go, third quarter. After the penalty on the Golden Gophers, Carolina will have the ball on its own 43-yard line, moving from right to left on the near hash. But they're still trying to get Johnson safely onto the cart. Right leg appears to be the issue for Max Johnson.
Yeah, like I said, you definitely could see how his leg got trapped under the defender's body. But once again, you didn't see anything within the replay that would say, like, oh, that's awful. That would make you cringe horribly. So hopefully, this is just a bad sprain and more of a scare than anything.
As several other Tar Heels come to say something to Johnson, let's tell you about Harrell. 22 of 33 a season ago, 270 yards total, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. His most extensive action was that bowl game against West Virginia, as Johnson's going to be carted off the field. Mitch Mason, the highly respected and loved team chaplain, is on that cart with Johnson, who is obviously disappointed and shaken up. Harrell will come in, 199 yards and a touchdown and 2 picks, plus ran for 25 yards in that game against West Virginia. And he enters with the Tar Heels down 14-10. His first play will be a handoff. Hampton lowers his shoulder, still battling, trying to get to midfield. He'll be stood up after a gain of 5. Minnesota's tackle made by Devin Williams, one of the linebackers for the Gophers.
Yeah, this is when that inside run becomes a little bit more dangerous for Carolina, knowing the Gophers defenders have to know that Connor Harrell has the ability to keep that football and get to the edge very quickly. So that could help open up some holes for the Tar Heel offense.
So Harrell, we thought we might see 2 quarterbacks, certainly not like this, as Hampton makes a man miss. Boy, he made something out of nothing there. That was going to be no gain, but Hampton dances to the left and gets a couple of yards over the 50 to the Minnesota 49, maybe the 40, make it the 48. That was a 4-yard run out of nothing from Hampton. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. So I was going to say, we thought we might see 2 quarterbacks, certainly not like this, as Harrell comes in for the injured Johnson. Carolina will run it. Hampton, big hole up the middle at the 40, and he's chopped down as he gets near the 35-yard line, rips off a gain of 12. Carolina now 8 of 12 on 3rd down.
Yeah, Minnesota's taking some chances right there. They're on these 3rd and shorts. They're trying to make pressure off the outside, and it's opening up some big holes.
Heels moving quickly. Harrell will give it to Hampton again. Dives forward for 2. Stopped by Kerry Brown. Minnesota really starting to sell out on Hampton.
Yep.
See if Carolina can make them pay. Of course, Hampton's always a good option. Clock down to just 1:18 in this quarter. Carolina has held the ball all but 55 seconds of this quarter. They are down 14-10, trailed 14-7 at halftime. Barlow comes in on 2nd and 8. It'll be a speed draw by Harrell, runs into traffic, spins out of that, and is able to just get back to the line of scrimmage at the 34. That was a design run by Harrell. Just didn't have much room to operate, and here comes a big 3rd and long. And it will be with Carolina's 2nd quarterback and with Barlow in at running back. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. First big test for Harrell. Comes on 3rd and long. Claps his hands. I think Minnesota may have been in the neutral zone. No flag comes in. Harrell's throw is low and incomplete.
There has to be a flag.
There is no flag down. I think Carolina snapped it because it thought Minnesota was offside. But
they were offside.
It is no flag, and Carolina's going to send out the field goal unit.
How in the world do you miss that? He was clearly offside when he snapped it.
So Burnett is going to try from 52 yards. He's only tried 1 kick of over 50 in his career. He missed it. His longest career kick is 48. 14-10. Burnett trying for a career long to put some more points on the board. Snap back, spot down. Kick is cleanly away. It's on the way, and it's good.
Wow.
Burnett,
there we go,
with room to spare, has a career-long field goal to give Carolina 3 more. So with 19 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, Carolina now within 1 after the 52-yard field goal by Noah Burnett.
I still can't believe that's a great field goal kick by Noah Burnett. What a clutch 52-yarder. Pick up 3 points, get this thing into a 1-point ball game, but still can't get over the fact that offsides was not called right there. Over top of the center, clearly in the neutral zone, snapped the ball like you said, Jones, simply because he was in the neutral zone to give Carolina a free play. Don't understand why that call wasn't made.
So Burnett from 52 caps off the 12-play, 49-yard drive, 5:13 off the clock. So Carolina's had the ball twice this quarter. They've run 29 plays for 119 yards and taken more than 13 minutes off the clock. They'll be kicking off with 19 seconds to go in this third quarter, now down by 1 at 14-13.
You know what would be real good right now?
A defensive stop?
3 and out. Let's get one more 3 and out. Grind on them with our Marion Hampton again.
Hampton is up to 109 yards. We'll tell you more about him in just a second. That's a very short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 10-yard line by Redding. And, ooh, he is blasted from behind. Taken down by Carolina's Malcolm Ziegler, a young defensive back for the Heels.
Great tackle.
Yeah, made a big tackle at the 25-yard line. That's where Minnesota will take over. So Hampton has gone over 100 yards. That is the 10th time in his career that he has done that. He has also gone over 2,000 yards for his career. He becomes the 18th Tar Heel to hit that mark. So Minnesota will start at the 25-yard line. Now up by 1, 14-13.
We're getting to that point in the game where you might see Minnesota try to take a shot downfield.
They'll send a man in motion. Brosmer's going to keep it on the ground. Stretching to the left, trying to cut it back. Still fighting for yards, but eventually the whistles blow as Major wouldn't go down, but he couldn't make any forward progress either. It is no gain on the play, and that will end the third quarter. So in that quarter, Minnesota ran 4 plays. Carolina ran 29 plays. The Tar Heels had the ball for nearly 14 minutes in the quarter. Now, the 2 drives both resulted in field goals, but they are within 1 at 14-13 going to the 4th. Don't go anywhere. 1-point game with 15 minutes to play in regulation from Learfield.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Contact AT. Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
I'm convinced I have the best Labor Day setup. A cold drink in one hand and my phone in the other while I shop Kohl's Labor Day sale. They have seriously great deals to refresh your home. $10 off if you spend $25 or more. $5 Kohl's cash for every $25 spent. And up to 85% off into summer clearance faves. Yep, I can always count on Kohl's to keep it real with the best savings. And now it's time for a refill. Select styles. Offers end September 2nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
This is Tar Heel football from Learfield.
Coach Mac Brown here. At the Good Feet store, their trained arch support specialist will work one-on-one with you to find the perfect fit. Good Feet arch supports are a game changer because they support all 4 arches in your feet. Whether you're in Chapel Hill, Raleigh, Greensboro, or down by the coast in Wilmington, it's easier than ever to step into a pain-free future. Don't wait any longer. Make the winning choice for your feet. Visit the Good Feet store today and let them show you what a difference the right support can make.
The Good Feet store is a proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
Tar Heel fans, this is an exclusive message from our favorite pizza partner, Domino's Pizza, who is on site at every home game where concessions are sold.
Hey Tar Heels, this is Ryan from your local Domino's. Our UNC alumni family-owned company has an exclusive everyday offer for all Tar Heel fans across all of North Carolina. Order online for delivery and use coupon code UNC at checkout and receive 25% off your entire online delivery order. That's right, 25% off everything. It's a great day to be a Tar Heel. Go Heels!
14-13 Minnesota going to the 4th. Couple of pieces of information. One, if you're out of town, want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the free Varsity Network app, available for both Apple and Android. Listen to college sports live with the Varsity Network app. 2 long All-State good hands field goals in that quarter for Carolina, Noah Burnett, first one wasn't that long, just 29 yards. The second one was a career long, 52 yards to get the Heels within one. And thank you to Allstate, which will contribute to the Tar Heel General Scholarship Fund on every field goal made. And that score again, 14-13 on the North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard. Farm Bureau Insurance helping you is what they do best. Carolina had 26 plays for 93 yards in the first half. They had 27 plays for 109 yards in the third quarter.
1 quarter.
8 first downs in the first half, 7 in the third quarter. Heels had the ball 11 minutes and 15 seconds in the first half, 13:59 in the third quarter. Burnett has moved into 7th place all-time in field goals made with 36. Hampton has moved into 18th place all-time with 2,014 yards rushing. It is 2nd and 10 for Minnesota, now going right to left. Ball on the far hash. Minnesota snapping on its own 25-yard line with the 1-point lead, 14-13. And now Carolina gets into the neutral zone, and the flag does come in. Tar Heels were frustrated that a flag didn't get thrown on that third down play a moment ago. Shaw was the man who jumped offside. He will immediately go to the sideline. Ritzy will come in for him.
Full start
on
the center. 5-yard penalty.
Well,
2nd down.
Excuse me. It is a snap infraction or a false start. Normally, if it's on the center, it is moving the ball for a snap infraction. And so Shaw's going to take the penalty or the punishment for having to go to the sideline for no reason.
Yeah. He got yanked out. He didn't.
He
was
will
just trying to play ball.
Yeah, he'll stay there for now, but it's 2nd and 15. Tyron Stewart, the JUCO, transfers in at one of the corner spots for Carolina. As Minnesota waits to snap it, does on the shotgun to Brosmer. He'll throw it. And caught in front of Stewart, the man we just said checked in. Caught by Jackson. Stewart pushes him out shy of the 30. In fact, well shy of the 30 at the 27.
Going big third down right here for Carolina. Looks like 3rd and 8. Big third down. 2 3-and-outs. Been able to hold the ball basically the whole quarter. This could be a huge play in the ball game.
It'll be 3rd and 8. For Minnesota. They need to get to the 35-yard line. We have Minnesota at 4 of 9 on 3rd down. The official stats have 2 of 8. We don't think that's right. Gophers send a man in motion. Big 3rd down here early in the 4th quarter with Minnesota up 1. Brosmer to throw. Pressure coming. Brosmer gets out of it, and now he goes to the turf. Kamen Rucker in the area. I think also Joshua Harris was in the mix. It was more just kind of Brosmer got caught in traffic and fell down with a lot of Tar Heels around him, and it will force another 3-and-out.
Yeah, Carolina did a real good job there. It was good patience. They played man-to-man across the board, but they didn't bring a full-out blitz on. They waited for Brosman to make his move, and then they attacked him. So it was very well played-out, disciplined football by the Tar Heel defense.
Mark Crawford, who's kicked a couple boomers today for Minnesota. Punts it away. Huzzy calls quickly for the fair catch and makes it at around the 42, maybe the 43 for the Tar Heels. Rucker was given credit for the sack on that last play. The 4th sack of the game for the Tar Heels. That was just a 30-yard punt by Crawford. He's been a little boom or bust, had a couple big ones and a couple short ones, and that's going to give Carolina good field position at the 42 after this timeout. Early 4th quarter, Heels down 1 with the football from Learfield.
Drive into summer with the Honda CR-V and Accord, your fun-to-drive weekend getaway vehicles. From Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So hurry in to the Honda Summer Event. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2025 CR-V or 2024 Accord.
Take your Tar Heels tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Hey, Tar Heel fans, cue the shine and savings. The new Zips Car Wash app is available for download. Keeping your ride sparkling clean has never been more rewarding. Get the free Zips app and earn points for every in-app purchase, including memberships. Then turn those points into free car wash rewards. Download the app today and your first wash is free. Visit the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and search Zips Car Wash now. Zips Car Wash, proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
You want Jersey Mike's signature sub, you get a number 13 original Italian. You want a dramatic radio idea? You get me. Like this. I'm the 7th-string quarterback and the other 6 quarterbacks go down. The coach yells, DeVito, you're in. The crowd is worried until I throw a touchdown. But the other team is celebrating. Apparently, I threw the Jersey Mike's number 13 original Italian I was eating on the sidelines. Whoops. The number 13 original Italian, Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
We're on the road with Honda dealers of the Carolinas. Take your Tar Heels tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today. You're listening to Tar Heel Football.
13 minutes, 23 seconds to go, and Carolina's down 1, 14-13. They will have the football at their own 42-yard line. Carolina has had the ball at this yard line or better to start a drive 2 previous times. Started one at their own 49, went 7 plays, turned it over on downs. Had one at their own 48, threw that pick that felt like the really game-changing play in the first half. Tar Heels have been a different team in the second half. They have run 29 plays. They've held the ball for nearly 14 minutes and kicked 2 field goals, including that last one, which was the longest field goal by a Tar Heel kicker since Nick Weiler's tomahawk chop of 54 yards against Florida State. Harrell, a little wobbler in the flat near side, caught by McCollum, does a nice job getting through the first tackle attempt and advances to the 45-yard line. Zaquan Bryan missed the tackle. It was a lot of work for 3 yards for McCollum. The ball kind of squirted out of Harrell's hands, wasn't real clean. But it gains 3, 2nd and 7, and they're going to hand it right back to Hampton to tote the mail. He powers forward for 2 yards to the 47, and we'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
All these thirds are getting crucial.
Carolina is 8 of 13 on 3rd down, 5 of 7 this second half. And another big one here. This is a long 5.5 really, needed for the Tar Heels. They need to get to the Minnesota 48. They're snapping it at about their own 46.5. Harrell, who came in for the injured Johnson, has pressure coming. He'll pick it up. Harrell down the field, and it's dropped. J.J. Jones again had a ball in his hands and couldn't come down with it. It wouldn't have been the easiest catch. The ball was a little behind him, but that's one that Jones probably feels like he needs to make.
Yeah, you got to find a way. Connor did a great job of standing in the pocket right there. JJ ran a real nice route. Like you said, it wasn't great on the money. He had to adjust for it, but those are the kind of plays that JJ Jones usually makes.
Boy.
Yeah, got into his body a little bit.
So the Tar Heels go 3 and out. They'll have to punt it. Rugby-style kick, booted away by McGinnis. Bounces at the 10. Tar Heels are down there. They down it at the 1. Hudson,
great play.
Able to stop the ball at the 1-yard line. They may mark it at the 2. But either way, a terrific play by Huzzy on the punt team to stop the ball before it went into the end zone.
Great play by Huzzy, getting flat down on the goal line so he didn't get into the end zone.
52-yard punt by McGinnis, and Huzzy with the save at the goal line. So Minnesota will be pinned back. 12:09 to go. 14-13 Gophers from Learfield.
You sit in traffic now, but later, there's an ice-cold reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. You've earned this rich golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. Because you know, all your patience is paid out in gold. You remain calm through honks, bumper to bumper, and people yelling. Come on, move! You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
This is the Tar Heel Sports Network from Learfield.
Stay in the know about what's happening at home with CPI Security's state-of-the-art security system. Featuring a doorbell camera to protect your packages, outdoor cameras to deter break-ins, and indoor cameras to verify emergencies and keep an eye on your family. Plus, it's all backed by CPI's award-winning and local professional monitoring station, getting you the help you need when you need it. When every second counts, count on CPI. Visit CPIsecurity.com for more information. CPI Security is a proud sponsor of Carolina Athletics.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
12:09 to play. Minnesota still clinging to a 1-point lead over the Tar Heels, 14-13. Gophers will have their worst starting field position, their own 2-yard line after the good punt by McGinnis. And quick tip of the cap, McGinnis, who did not have a great season a year ago. He, of course, forced into action after the injury to Kiernan, was really new to the game of football, averaged fewer than 40 yards per punt. Carolina was in the bottom 5 or 6 teams in the country in net punting. But McGinnis has done a good job tonight and teamed up with Huzzy there to pin Minnesota way back. A reminder about syncmygame.com. You can head to the website, syncmygame.com, find out how to sync up our radio broadcast with the TV broadcast so you can listen to the good guys. I don't include Joe in that, but while you're watching on TV. So big spot here for Carolina defensively. Tar Heels have clawed back to within 1 and trying to get the advantage back on the scoreboard. Minnesota will have it in the shotgun. Brosmer in the end zone. He'll have Major to his right. Sends the tight end Caller up in motion. He stops as a wing right side. And Brosmer's going to throw on first down. Dumps it off short. Major makes the catch, breaks a tackle, and gets over the 10-yard line. First tackle missed by Stick Lane. And that gives Minnesota some breathing room as first down to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, I like the call by Minnesota. They're backed up on their 2-yard line. They gave no play action, just said, hey, we're going to sit back here and throw it, dump it underneath, and broke a tackle, picked the first down, get them out of the soup.
Minnesota's only had 3 drives this half, 2 3-and-outs. That's their first down of the second half. And now Brosmer breaks contain and gets to the 20. Lost the football, but I think he was down before the ball came out. Tar Heels did jump on it, but I do believe Brosmer was down. Although, of course, Carolina, well, I tell you what now, Amari Campbell hit Brosmer as he was diving to the ground.
Ruling on the field is that the runner was down prior to the ball coming loose.
I think if you're Carolina, you do not want Minnesota to snap this ball.
That's a fumble. That's a fumble.
And the officials do stop the action. I'm stunned. Minnesota stood back in a huddle. I am stunned.
Previous play is under
and
further
I tell you
review.
what,
that's a fumble.
In looking at this replay, I think Amari Campbell, who's got one of his hands clubbed up due to an injury, I think he knocked that ball free. So the officials are going to go under the hood for the first time. Take your Tar Heel tailgate to the next level with a new Honda. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today. And now the call on the field is that the runner was down. So that does play a role. But man, oh man, this could be an enormous play. Tar Heels have not forced a turnover tonight. The only turnover of the game was an interception by Minnesota that they ran back 70 yards to the 6 and eventually scored. The Tar Heels are arguing. I tell you what.
That ball's out.
I think it's coming out. Travis Shaw jumped.
After further review, the ball came loose prior to the runner being down. was recovered by North Carolina at the 22-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for North Carolina.
There we go.
So that was Travis Shaw who jumped on the ball. Heads-up play by the young man there. So Campbell forces it, and Shaw jumps on it. And Carolina is going to get possession at the 22-yard line of Minnesota with 11:08 to go and down 1.
Come on. Now you got to make them pay, offense. Now you got to make them pay.
So Carolina takes over after the first forced turnover of the ball game. Connor Harrell in for the injured Max Johnson. Johnson carted off with an apparent leg injury early in this half. Harrell with Hampton to his right. Gonna feed him. Hampton pushes forward to the 20. A gain of 2.
You know, I know that Carolina's done a great job of pounding Hampton up the middle, but Minnesota's made some adjustments on their interior line, and they're really packing it in. This could be the time of the game where Connor Harrell, with the legs that he has, able to pull that ball out and try to get on the edge.
2nd and 8. After Hampton gets 2 more yards, he's up to 113 on the day, although his longest run is just 16 yards. Hampton going to try to bounce it to the outside, does fight through a tackle, but can do all he can just to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Cody Lindenberg with the stop, and Hampton, see where they're going to mark it, 21, back to the 22. So he loses the 2 yards that he gained. And how much do the Heels trust Harrell here to throw the ball after the big turnover? Certainly 3rd and 10, normally a down and distance that you would put the ball in the air.
I think you got to put it in the air right here. You got to make a play right here. Trust your quarterback.
Play clock under 5. Harrell will throw. Nope, it's a design run. Harrell runs into traffic at the 20. Now he loses the ball. Both teams go for it, and Minnesota says it has it. Teams are piled up. Still looking. No signal. Taking bodies off the pile. I think Carolina got back on it. The Tar Heels do. Hampton comes out of the scrum with the ball as if he hasn't done enough.
Oh, my goodness.
So the fumble takes it back to the 24. And Burnett comes on to try and give Carolina the lead on what would be a 42-yard field goal off the left hash. So can the Heels make the turnover pay off with points in the lead? Snap back, spot down. Kick is away, and it's right down Broadway.
There you go. No.
Burnett with his 3rd field goal of the half. He's a young man that was 19 of 20 a year ago, and he puts it through the pipes to give Carolina the lead. The Tar Heels get the big fumble. Don't do much with it, but they do add 3. Now leading 16-14. 9:05 to go from Learfield.
I want that. The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Now's the best time to get our best deals on a great selection of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the Ford Explorer, the Ford Bronco family, Ford F-Series, and the all-electric F-150 Lightning. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event. So make it yours. Make it now at your Ford dealer today.
This is Carolina football from Learfield.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one great team, UNC Health is keeping you well by bringing renewed focus, approach, and dedicated services close to you. Exceptional care is what you and your family deserve. Together, let's put points on the board for life well played. Team up with UNC Health, proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
like a last-second touchdown to beat your rival or the play that you can remember like it was yesterday. Penn Station East Coast Subs fuels your passion for greatness with a menu featuring an array of mouth-watering grilled submarine sandwiches, fresh-cut fries, and a hand-squeezed lemonade. Let Penn Station Subs make every day feel like game day. Penn Station East Coast Subs is happy to serve you with 6 locations right here in the Triangle. Come see us in store or order online. Penn Station East Coast Subs. It's all about good taste.
Well, it's been a good old-fashioned football game here in Minneapolis. 9:05 to go. The Tar Heels now have the lead back at 16-14. Minnesota led 14-7 at halftime. But the Golden Gophers have 3 possessions, 24 total yards this half, 2 3-and-outs, and a fumble. Carolina's had the ball 4 times and have had a couple long drives, had a short field, turned all those into field goals, couldn't get in the end zone. But those 9 points, enough to turn the 14-7 halftime deficit to a 16-14 lead on the North Carolina Farm Bureau scoreboard. Brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what they do best. Max Johnson, unfortunately injured to the point that he was carted off the field. He really struggled in the first half, played much better in the second, but was injured on the second drive for Carolina. Carted off with an apparent leg injury. Connor Harrell has been in ever since. Harrell 1 of 3 passing for 2 yards. Boyd's kick is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So Minnesota will start on the 25 this time. Now trailing for the first time since it was 7-0 Carolina in the second quarter.
I'll tell you, Jones, I don't know. I haven't said this in a long time about Carolina football, but this might be one of those games where we need the defense to win it.
So the defense, outside of those 2 drives at the end of the first half by Minnesota, one on a very short field, has looked good for Carolina. Not perfect, but they've looked good. And got that big turnover forced. Amari Campbell knocking the ball free from Brosmer. Recovery by Travis Shaw that set up the short field and the field goal that gave Carolina the lead. But still, 9:05 to go. Both teams with 3 timeouts. Fourth quarter here in Minneapolis. Got started an hour late due to severe weather. We're nearing midnight on the East Coast. Brosmer in the shotgun is going to play action and drop back. Plenty of time. Dancing around. Now he's chased by Ritzy, and Ritzy's going to take him down. Back at the 20, Ritzy chased him down and took him to the turf.
Jahvaree Ritzy, 6'5", 290 pounds, moving lateral, chasing down the quarterback. Unbelievable athletic play by Ritzy right there.
Got Ritzy for 3 sacks tonight. He had in his career 2.5 coming into this game.
What an athletic play.
We've got that as the 5th sack for Carolina this evening. And it's a 5-yard loss. That'll make it 2nd and 15 now for Minnesota. 16-14, Carolina up by 2. Gophers with the football. Heels will rush 4. Brosmer's throw is caught in traffic and then breaking away. Goodness gracious, what a play by Daniel Jackson. I don't know how he caught it against Tyron Stewart and then broke away from a double team and gets all the way to the 40 for a gain of 20. That was just Daniel Jackson, the best receiver for Minnesota, willing the Gophers to a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, Stick Lane comes in there to finish that tackle. He sticks his shoulder in there, but he doesn't wrap up. That's what allowed him to break away. Stick Lane's got to be able to come in there and wrap around him and get him to the ground.
40 seconds for a defensive player's helmet off.
The official, there's a helmet came off.
The clock will start at my whistle.
Caleb LaValle just got a different helmet. He either took off or put on the green dot helmet. And you got LaValle, a redshirt freshman in the game, at a huge time right now, along with Amari Campbell. That means Eccles not on the field right now for Carolina defensively. And Minnesota will run it for no gain on first down as Ritzy and Amari Campbell combined for the tackle. There was some action downfield. A couple guys got tangled up. It will be a short. They may give him a yard on the play for Major. They will They'll bring up 2nd and 9. So Minnesota going from right to left. Clock moving here in the fourth quarter. They have it at their own 41-yard line, shaded towards the far hash. Carolina leads 16-14. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Minnesota just got one of definitely its best play of the second half, a 20-yard gain to get to the 40. They're going to run a speed option to the near side, or a little inside handoff, I should say, to the near side, an end around, and it gets out to the 45, maybe 46 by Christian Driver. It'll be a gain of 4 and bring up 3rd down. So Driver was in motion, just got that little pocket handoff, and, they're going to mark it at the 46, so give him 5 and make it 3rd and 4 for Minnesota. We've got the Gophers at 4 of 10 unofficially on 3rd down.
Like Carolina's speed to the ball right now. Quick jet sweep, and they're able to get wide side of the football and get them on the ground quickly.
Shaquem Harris with the tackle on that play for Carolina. Big 3rd down here. The clock already down to 6:20. Heels up 16-14, fourth quarter. 3rd down, Brosmer's going to throw. Pressure coming. Brosmer steps out of the tackle and is going to get the 1st down. Amari Campbell had Brosmer in the backfield. Unabated sack. Carolina gets the ball. Brosmer bounces off and gets the 1st down.
All Amari Campbell has to do right there is when he gets to the quarterback, just break down. Don't come in out of control. He came in too hot and then allowed Brosman to bounce off him. Like you said, he came in untouched. You just got to break down and make the tackle.
Heels up by 2, so a field goal would give Minnesota the lead. First time Minnesota's been on the Tar Heel side of the 50 this half. Just 5:37 and counting. Fresh set of downs for the Gophers. Brosmer's going to throw. Over the middle, caught and stepping away and losing the football. Oh, but picked up on a bounce by a Gopher and taking it down to the 10-yard line. Major cleaned up the trash and gets to 1st and goal. The ball was fumbled by LeMekki Brockington after the catch, and it bounced up right into the chest of his teammate Major, who takes it to the 10.
Great play by Stick Lane, knocking that ball out, but like you said, it just bounced one hop right up into his hands in full stride.
So now Minnesota clearly in field goal range. Tar Heels do have 3 timeouts. Up by 2. Brosmer, pressure coming, throws to the end zone, incomplete. Had a man open, Cost had his back turned, but Elijah Spencer couldn't bring it in, and that'll bring up 2nd down. We need seconds quickly down the lines for station ID on the Tar Heel Sports Network. All right, Tar Heels had Minnesota in 3rd down, and looked like Amari Campbell, who's had a huge game, including forcing a big fumble, was going to get a sack. Brosmer got out of it, then the fluky play, and now all of a sudden Minnesota's got a chance to take the lead late. Brosmer under center this time is going to hand it off, and nothing doing. Kamen Rucker was in a wrestling match with Marcus Major. Minnesota wants a flag thrown. I think Major kind of showed a little acting job there. Rucker was swinging him around when the whistles blew. And then Major went flying to the ground.
Good no call by the ref.
I agree. It will be a loss of a couple. But remember, Minnesota well within field goal range here. They'll be looking at 3rd down. Carolina not taking a timeout. They have 3. The clock is down to 4 minutes. Heels up 16-14. There's the 2-minute timeout as well, don't forget. So Carolina really has 4 timeouts still. 3rd and goal from the 12. Brosmer to throw. He's going to dump it in the flat. Incomplete.
Stop the clock.
That does stop the clock with 3:43 to go. Jordan Newman was the intended receiver out of the backfield. The pass was off the mark, and it is going to bring up a field goal opportunity for Minnesota. Dragon Kesich, the Big Ten kicker of the year a year ago, missed a kick, a 27-yarder earlier in the game. This is just a 30-yarder, and it is straight away. So This is a regular or a pretty routine field goal attempt. With 3:43 to go, it would give Minnesota the lead. It's on the way, and it is good. So Kessage's field goal gives Minnesota the advantage back, 17-16 with 3:40 to go. Plenty of time for Carolina, who has 3 timeouts and the new 2-minute timeout in college football. So lots of time to work with. It will be Connor Harrell, though. Max Johnson started injured earlier this half. Harrell, 1 of 3 passing for 2 yards and 2 rushes for -1 yard. So hadn't been able to get much going since he came in, but has a chance now to play hero for the Tar Heels.
I think Carolina, what they need to do is go back to what they did with Max Johnson when he had some success. Get the ball out of his hand quickly. They worked the screen game. They worked the tunnel screen game. They worked the quick pass game over the middle. Put him in a position where he can get the ball out of his hand quickly, because obviously right now, Marion Hampton is being keyed on very much so within the inside the tackles with the Minnesota defense. So couple things. Have Connor Harrell beat this defense with his legs and use that short passing game to march the ball down the field.
Back on the goal line is McCollum, but he's going to see the kickoff. Didn't even land in the field of play on the first hop through the end zone. So the Tar Heels will start on their own 25. Carolina's had the ball 4 times this half. They've scored 3 of those 4, but they've all been field goals. And now they trail 17-16 with 3:40 to play. Season opener, Carolina 204 yards of offense, Minnesota 203. Tar Heels averaged 491 a year ago. Different year, though. And now they need 75 big ones. Harrell will clap his hands, get the ball, and give it to Hampton. Hampton pops it to the outside. Hampton has the first down and gets close to the Minnesota 40 on the first down run.
Yeah, great job by Marion Hampton in the line of scrimmage right there. Very patient on his run. Used quick feet. Sticks his foot in the ground. Cuts it to the outside. Picks up a good 12 yards.
We'll give him 13 officially to the 38. He's up to 124. Carolina does have the luxury of still being able to run the ball here. 3:10 and counting. 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout. Minnesota going to bring an extra man. Harrell pulls it. Has a man open down the field. Caught at the 45, heading down the far sideline and shoved out of bounds is J.J. Jones. He gets over the Minnesota 30. In fact, they'll put him right at the Gopher 30. A gain of 32. Minnesota thought Harrell was going to pull and run. Instead, he pulled and passed.
Yeah, Harrell did a great job. The outside linebacker played it well and forced Harrell to bounce to the outside. Right when that happened, then the corner felt as if there was no doubt that Harrell was going to run the football. And as he came up to play them on the run, Harrell just put it right over his head into J.J. Jones' hands.
Now the Tar Heels into Minnesota territory. Going left to right, ball on the far hash. Gophers crowding the line of scrimmage. Harrell going to give it to Hampton. Pushes forward to the 26-yard line. Cody Lindenberg with the stop. The clock is going to stop at the 2-minute timeout. My guess is Carolina is going to take it to that without snapping again. Minnesota has 3 timeouts. Tar Heels have advanced it to the Gopher 26. Will be 2nd and 6, but it will come after the 2-minute timeout. So we'll take the break at 2 minutes. Minnesota 17, Carolina 16, with 2 minutes to play. We'll see you in a second here on the Tar Heel Sports Network from Learfield.
Coach Mac Brown here. At the Good Feet store, their trained arch support specialists will work one-on-one with you to find the perfect fit. Good Feet arch supports are a game changer because they support all 4 arches in your feet. Whether you're in Chapel Hill, Raleigh, Greensboro, or down by the coast in Wilmington, it's easier than ever to step into a pain-free future. Don't wait any longer. Make the winning choice for your feet. Visit the Good Feet store today and let them show you what a difference the right support can make.
The Good Feet store is a proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Tar Heel Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
They're not just the Tar Heels, they're your Tar Heels. Customize your Wells Fargo debit card or open an account today and show your Tar Heel pride with every purchase. Get started at wellsfargo.com/Tar Heels. Wells Fargo is proud to be the official sponsor of Carolina Athletics. Copyright 2024, Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Do you think Carolina plays more games like this than other teams? It just feels like we see this a lot, right? Last year, Carolina was 2-2 in games decided by 7 points or less. They've played 31 of them since Mac Brown returned. They are 15-16 in games decided by a touchdown or less in Mac Brown 2.0. Right now, they are down by 1, 17-16 with exactly 2 minutes to go. Each team has all 3 of its timeouts. The Tar Heels have the ball at the Minnesota 26-yard line, 2nd and 6. The big play in this drive was a little bit of an improvisation by Connor Harrell on the read option, pulled it from Hampton, rolled to the left. The corner from Minnesota left J.J. Jones unguarded. Harrell tossed it over the charging corner, and Jones able to gain 32 yards on the play to the Minnesota 30. A 4-yard run by Hampton. Then the 2-minute timeout has us where we are now. Carolina was down 14-7 at halftime. They have controlled the clock, scored on 3 of their 4 possessions this half, but all have been field goals. Minnesota had gone 3 and out, turnover, but then went on a 10-play, 63-yard drive and kicked a field goal to take the lead. Harrell in the shotgun. Again, it is 2nd and 6. Heels going left to right, ball on the far hash. He'll give it to Hampton. Hampton ducks his head and gets to the 24, a gain of 2. It'll bring up 3rd down. Jahl Joyner with the stop.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Jones, I just feel like, you talk about winning these football games, you're talking about going from good to great. I think UNC right now cannot play this game to kick a field goal and try to win it. Could it work? Sure. But I really believe that it could be time to be aggressive. And if Chip Lindsey, if you've got a scheme, you got a play that you've been holding in your pocket for this moment, this now would be the time to use it.
Minnesota did take a timeout after that run, so clock stops at 1:56. They're going to say Hampton only gained a yard on that play, so I had said he got 2. They'll give him just 1, so it will be 3rd and 5 from the 25-yard line. Carolina 8 of 15 on 3rd downs, but have failed on their last 3 attempts on 3rd down. Malik McGowan is in at left guard for Carolina. Aiden Banfield, a freshman, started there tonight. McGowan, the junior from Charlotte Catholic in Charlotte, North Carolina, is there now. 3rd and 5. How aggressive does Carolina get? They're on the Minnesota 25. Minnesota selling out. Harrell pulls it away and just has nowhere to go. Pulled it away from Hampton. Full sellout by Minnesota to stop the run. Harrell just didn't have any room and sat down in the backfield. Lost maybe a yard or 2. And Minnesota takes another timeout. So the Heels, it appears, will call on Noah Burnett to try and kick his 4th field goal of the half. It will be a 44-ish yarder. We'll see officially. 1:48 to go. 17-16, Minnesota with the lead. Carolina at one point was 8 of 12 on 3rd down. They are 0 of their last 4.
Minnesota's done a great job on the read option, especially in the second half. You think it would be there, and they've shut it down right away.
It's going to be a 45-yard attempt for Burnett off the left hash. 1:48 to go. Minnesota up 1. Triplet, the snapper, McGinnis, the holder. Snap back, spot down. Kick is away under pressure, and it is good. Burnett makes his 4th field goal of the half, and he had some Gophers in his face on that one, but was able to sneak it around a couple of charging defenders and put it home.
Clutch. Clutch, Noah Burnett. Clutch.
So, Burnett, with his 4th field goal of the half, caps a 6-play, 48-yard drive. 1:44 to go. 6-play, 48 yards, and a minute 56 off the clock. Burnett has now made a 29-yarder, a 52-yarder, a 42-yarder, and a 45-yarder.
You know, Jones, you put Carolina's defense in a situation where
they're announcing a couple of uniform changes just for kickoffs.
You put Carolina's defense in a situation where Minnesota's going to have to throw the football. And the one thing that we have done very well today is getting after the quarterback. Desmond Evans, Kamen Rucker, Javari Ritzie across the board have done a great job getting out the quarterback, so that bodes well for the Carolina defense. Now you just got to finish it.
Will be a touchback. Minnesota has one timeout. Minute 44 to go. A field goal would give Minnesota the lead. Kessage's career long is 54. He has a big leg. He's 3 of 4 last year, 3 of 5 in his career from 50-plus. Minnesota had not done anything on its first 3 drives. 2 3-and-outs and a fumble before going 10 plays and kicking a field goal last time it had the football.
They're down to 1 timeout, correct?
1 timeout. Carolina has 3. Minute 44 to go. Clock will stop on first downs momentarily. And, of course, on out of bounds. Brosmer to throw. Has plenty of time to do so. He's going to lob it up near side and complete. Oh, a flag comes in. Allen going to be called for pass interference. I mean, the ball was underthrown. Allen just didn't get his head turned. As they were looking for Jackson.
This contact a little bit early.
That's going to move the ball all the way to the 40, though. And Minnesota now with some momentum, just 7 seconds off the clock. Second pass interference on Allen today. Brosmer had a lot of time to throw as well on that one. Major in the backfield with him. Brosmer to throw. Pressure coming from behind. He gets it out of his hands and caught. Sneaking away from multiple Tar Heels. Still on the move. Getting to the Carolina 40 is Elijah Spencer, the Charlotte transfer. Made the catch and ripped away. And just like that, Minnesota is closing in on field goal range.
Yeah, Carolina ought to think about potentially using some of their timeouts if they're to pick up another first down here.
Rucker almost got to Brosmer from behind, but couldn't do it. Brosmer going to throw again. Uncorks it, caught. And now Minnesota in field goal range.
Timeout. Coach Brown needs to call timeout.
Daniel Jackson makes the catch on the far sideline, inbounds at the 32-yard line, gain of 8. So this would be in field goal range now for Minnesota. Clock is moving. 56 seconds to go. Gophers have a timeout. Heels have 3. Looks like Carolina's going to ride with the defense. Brosmer going to hand it off, and a lot of
there you go.
The flag.
Holding.
So the flag comes in. Major gets down to the 20, but a huge call here. If it is holding, that pushes the ball.
Holding. Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second out.
Tyler Cooper, 6-year senior, called for the hold. That's going to push the ball back to the 42-yard line of the Tar Heels.
Yeah, clear hold right at the point of attack. Wrapped his arms right around him, brought him to the ground. Easy call for the referee.
Clock at 44 seconds. Starts running on the snap. Brosmer to throw, and boy, tough catch in the middle of the field.
Yeah, call timeout.
That was caught at the 33-yard line by Jamison Gears, one of the tight ends for Minnesota against the defense of Jakeen Harris. Clock down to 25 seconds. Minnesota has a timeout. Heels have 3. Gophers trying to get everybody positioned correctly. Clock down to 19 seconds. Heels up 2. Brosmer gets the snap and hands it off. And cutting over the 30 to the 29 for the first down for Minnesota. 13 seconds to go. It's going to come down to a kick. Minnesota, I think, just is going to spike the ball. And Brosmer does with 9 seconds left. See if Minnesota sends on the kicking unit now, or if they try to get one more play in. They do have a timeout. So Minnesota started this drive on the 25, and they have moved to the Tar Heel 29-yard line. 46 yards that they've been able to move with 9 seconds to go. Brosmer's going to be in the shotgun.
Pile him up, inside run.
With Major to his right. 9 seconds left. He does hand off, and Major is hit quickly by Power Eccles for no gain. And the clock stops with 4 seconds left.
Third and final timeout, Minnesota.
So it will come down to a kick. Dragon Kesich, top kicker in the Big Ten a year ago, is 1 for 2 tonight. Missed a 27-yarder, made a 30-yarder. This will be around 46 or 47 yards. Has the leg. From 40-plus in his career, he is 8 of 11, including making a 54-yarder twice last season. 4 seconds to go. Carolina trailed by 7 at halftime. They fought to take the lead a couple of times. And it's going to come down to a kick. 19-17 Tar Heels. Will come down to the kick of left-footed Dragon Kesich. The holder is the punter, Mark Crawford. Ryan Algrim, the long snapper. Ball shaded a little bit to the far hash as Minnesota kicks it from right to left. Carolina does have timeouts. They can use one to try and ice the kicker if they want to. They will do so right before the snap.
Timeout, North Carolina. First 30-second timeout.
19-17. Carolina 252 yards of offense. Minnesota 244. Hampton has 129 yards rushing. Brosmer has done enough at the quarterback spot for Minnesota to give him a chance.
And he made some throws when it counted in this last drive.
Max Johnson started, did not have a good first half, was doing much better in the second half, was injured, carted off. Connor Harrell has come in. Carolina's been pretty conservative with Harrell in the game. He's led them to a couple of field goals. But it comes down to a field goal for Minnesota. Dragon Kesich from right around 47 yards. Shading towards the far hash. Heels up 2. Snap back. Here comes the kick. It is no good. He missed it. He missed it, and Carolina wins. Kesich hooks it right, and the Tar Heels are flying home happy.
Oh, woo!
Minnesota stadium operator thought the kick went in. They're shooting off fireworks.
Fire them off, baby! Fire them off!
Carolina, through injuries, through some ugly play, through some nice plays by Minnesota. The Tar Heels survive in Minneapolis, 19-17, the final score. Carolina sweeps this home and home with Minnesota, and they get that huge season-opening win. The first time the Tar Heels have won a season opener in a true road game since 1993. Well, we're going to take a break. Because of the late hour, Coach Brown is just going to call us from inside the locker room, so we're not going to go down there. He's going to give us a call after he talks to the team due to the late hour and the distance that we are from where Carolina's locker room is. And so we'll hear from him in just a second. Oh, my gosh. It just never changes. It just never changes. But this time the Tar Heels get the win.
Let's go Heels.
Noah Burnett, 4 field goals in the second half. Hampton, 129 yards on the ground. Let's all catch our breath, and we'll take a break. Heels win it by 2 from Learfield.
It takes hard work